Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. Wake up!
Welcome in, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. Oh, my God. It's fantastic to be here with you this morning, live from the Windy City. It's our last show of the week. Happy July to all of you. Friar faithful out there. This might be our fault, and we'll talk about that in a moment. It's getting ridiculous at this point. I'm Woodsy. Paul Reindl's our executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Got a little headache, actually, and it's not from the 2 Coors Lights I had in 12 hours. I don't know what it's dehydration maybe.
For sure.
But dude, I feel hungover without any of the fun that comes along with being hungover or getting hungover, I guess you should say. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning. Yeah, it's hot. I just noticed. Are you wearing a bathing suit?
Yes.
Did you run out of clothes or
no?
What's going on? What's in swim trunks?
So I don't have all those dorky khaki shorts that you have. All right. So all the shorts that I have are swimsuits.
Wow.
So
there's not even a pool at our hotel.
So
You could jump in the river or something. Like
as I was packing, I was in my closet and I'm looking at the weather and I go, it's 1,000 degrees. I go, I'm going to have to force myself into shorts. Okay. So I start going through all of my shorts. They're all swimsuits. Oh, look. Nice.
Yeah, that's a nice Vuori swim trunks.
I have the same ones in darker brown.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, but I'm not swimming. Now, remember also about swim trunks. You know what they don't have? A lot of storage space. There's not a lot of room for your phone or your Zyn or your wallet. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Paulie, are you happening to bring a backpack to today's game?
Wasn't planning on it.
So I'll just fold up like $100 bill, tuck it in my sock because it will fall out of these shorts if I bring them. God, and they ride up. My white legs are exposed. Ben looked over. He's like, whoa. So now you know how it feels, right? When I look over at you, it's gross, right?
It's not gross.
No, it's gross.
I just didn't know why you had swim trunks on, honestly.
Because I don't wear shorts.
And we discussed on our way over, we both have the issue that we are fast running out of underwear. I brought a couple of extra pairs, but it's so hot and sweaty. You go through clothes much faster here than you do in San Diego. Much faster.
I packed well. I pretty much planned for like up to 3 outfits per day.
I'm dead, dude.
And I think I'm okay for the rest of the trip.
So it was funny. Throwback to last year in Philly, I ran out of underwear. And I talked about it on the air. And I'd forgotten that I did it. But our friend Lolo saw a picture of me last night with a tier 1. And I had sweated completely through my shirt. She goes, is that a shadow or is that sweat? I go, it's sweat. You don't know how mind-numbingly hot it is. And she goes, well, I hope you packed enough undies for this trip. And I go, oh, I did. Because I did two pair a day. I'm out. This is it. What I'm wearing is my last pair.
We're here another 24 hours plus before we get on the plane tomorrow morning.
So I don't know really what to do other than stop by somewhere and get more underwear. But I don't play golf in shorts, so I don't have golf shorts like you. All my shorts are swim trunks. I get them when I go to Hawaii and I get in the water, the once a year that I do. So I'm unprepared. I don't wear cargo shorts. I don't wear denim cutoff jean shorts. I don't wear shorts. So everything I have is a swimsuit. And honestly, they don't look bad when you're walking around.
And in fact, they're kind of Padres colored in a certain
colors.
way. It's not the worst,
but they are. They're not comfortable.
Do they come with their own underwear so you can?
No.
Oh, it's not the ones that have the mesh.
Nope, that's my underwear.
Mesh underwear.
I hate the mesh.
They don't have the mesh.
So I could save you an underwear if you needed it.
And as of yesterday, first of all, I have to. We talk a lot on the show about, well, at least I do, personal growth, accountability. Sometimes you have to admit that you were wrong. Sometimes people learn from their mistakes, and there's been a lot of that going on. So I'll start with mine. I was completely wrong about Lou Malnati's. From my recollection, when I lived here, Lou Malnati's was a much deeper, grosser meal. It was very thick and deep. Went to Lou Malnati's yesterday.
Save that, Paul.
It was so effing good that I couldn't stand it. It was so tasty. It was so good. Had about a piece and a half of deep dish. The sauce was ungodly. I'll think about it in my dreams. It was perfectly proportioned. The crust was flaky and delicious. And we had a great time. So I walked
good.
that back.
Yeah, I had about the same. Piece and a half was enough. But it was delicious.
So then, the other thing, there's somebody else in this room that has learned from his mistakes. Paulie and I woke up to the sweetest text from our beloved Benjamin Higgins, who the day before had gone. He got his own lanyard. He left us in the lurch. He got his own coffee. He was just watching out for himself. We woke up to a very, very sweet text. Hey guys, good morning. I'm going to put in a Starbucks order. Send me what you want. And my heart was warmed.
Yeah.
So thank you
I felt cared for.
Seen.
Yeah. Appreciated. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Personal growth.
Also,
was it the prank that we pulled on you yesterday that encouraged you to?
So, when we went before the game to the Cubby Bear, Tier 1 Doug had pre-ordered for Woods and Paul.
They were all there waiting for us. We Ubered over, and I told him, I was like, hey, we're on our way. And he goes, cool, what's your ETA? I said, we'll be there in about 8 minutes. And he goes, hey, what do you guys want to drink? How funny would it be if I ordered your two drinks like you ordered ahead for when you guys get here? So we walked in.
I felt it.
I had two beers waiting for us. I turned around. I said, Benny, where's your beer? He goes, wow, that was fast. I go, yeah, we ordered ahead. Yeah. Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, sucks.
But don't underestimate my rationality as well, because I realized yesterday, this is dumb. I'm now waiting for them to order and get their orders. We just cruised right in and picked it all up and kept walking right here to our Odyssey Chicago building. So
it was
very easy.
And I'll tell you, man, you think when you get in there and the sun's out and it's cooking you, you think, all right, well, when the sun goes down, it's going to feel much better. And you're sitting in your seat and you look out at center field and you see the flags are going like they are blowing. And you're going, where's the breeze? Where's this breeze? You're sitting in your seat. It's like sitting in a mother effing oven. Sitting in an oven.
The sun was down. It's still 85 degrees, 86,
felt way hotter.
Humid, and you're just sitting there. The seats are fairly small, and you're kind of just smashed in there, and you're like, I haven't really moved, and yet I'm just sweating.
My shirt was completely drenched. So then, as I mentioned in the open, how this might be our fault. I was livid last night when they basically treated Padres pitching like the home run derby pitchers, and we're just hitting. Every other hitter was like, "Oh my God, 450 to dead set." I was raging inside, like just livid as I could be. I almost rage walked out like 3 times. Had they acquiesced to me, we would have been gone in the 4th. I was so mad, and I was so pissed that we were sitting there suffering through this. And finally, Paul, he's like, bro, I'm not trying to stay around here all night, but I want to see the 7th inning stretch. You've never seen the 7th inning stretch before.
Got to see it at Wrigley, right?
Right? So I go, fine, I'll acquiesce to this.
That would have been like sacrilege if we'd left before that on your first time at Wrigley, right?
Yeah.
You gotta stay there.
For sure. And so I said, all right, man, we'll stay for the 7th inning stretch. We get up after the 7th inning stretch, we leave. Because, we got to get home, get laid down, get relaxed, go to sleep for the show. We got a show today. Show's the most important thing for me. It's the most important thing. More important than any game or any ending or anything else. It's the most important thing. As soon as we walk out the door, the Padres start scoring. And I mean, they had 3 runs when we were there for 7 innings. They scored 4 runs after we left.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm laughing, but I'm also going, wait a minute. When we went to Philly last year, we got beat. We only went to 1 game. The other game, there was a deluge, and we got rained out.
They split the doubleheader, so they won.
But we were already
one
gone.
Of 3. Yeah, we were gone. We were at the airport.
The game they won, we were gone.
Yep.
Then I thought back, well, Hannah and I went to opening day this year. They were out of that game in the 2nd inning. Got our ass kicked. Then I think I took the kids and Hannah to a game. We lost that one. I don't know the last time I've seen my favorite team win a baseball game in person. So I thought, I have tickets for today's game. Should I go? Does anyone even want me to go? Is it just me or is it you too?
All right, so a couple things. Normally, I would say they don't know you're at the game. So how could it possibly affect
literally
their play?
do.
But they do. I saw some eye contact from players on the field with our group. Yep. They saw that we were there. So it's possible that we intimidated them or pressured their play.
Right.
So, yes, I will not discount the possibility that we are some sort of a jinx or we are bringing bad mojo
Juju
to the Padres. However, today, technically, we are not going to the game.
You're right.
We are outside the ballpark. We're not in the park. We are in the area of the ballpark, but we are not going to the game today. So, I guess you could, if the Padres win, you could say that maybe that is true. If they lose today, it wasn't your fault.
It wasn't my fault.
We're not at the game. We're near the game today.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
I do want to throw something in that I did not tell you guys last night.
Oh.
So when we were waiting for the game to start, and our seats were on the first base side. So they're in the sun. We excitedly walk into Wrigley Field, go find our seats, sit down and realize,
nope.
Oh, it's like 112 degrees in the sun, directly in the sun. But we see, all right, in about 15 minutes, the sun's going to dip below the third base stands and we're going to be in shade. We have to get out of there. So we go down into the concourse and we're waiting around. I had grand plans. It's Wrigley Field. I wanted to eat like 7 different things. I wanted to get the caramel and cheese corn. I wanted to try all kinds of different stuff.
Hot dog.
It was almost too hot to eat.
It's too hot to eat. Yeah.
But
100%.
I wasn't hungry, dude.
I was not going to
I wasn't hungry. I didn't want to go wait in line sweat.
Even me. It was tough. But I was not going to leave Wrigley without getting a dog and dragging it through the garden Chicago style.
Right.
So I left while you guys were standing there, said, I'm going to go grab my dog and I'm just going to eat it here while we're standing. So I walked down, there's a couple concession stands and you just get the dog plain. And then they have a stand where you put all the toppings on the pickle,
garden, as it were,
the onions, the tomato. Yeah, you run it through the garden yourself. Mustard, sport pepper. They don't do it for you. You do it yourself.
Right. Okay.
So I get my dog. I have no idea what I paid for it. They just kind of automatically charge you. You go in like an Amazon kiosk, charge your card, and you walk out. I don't know how it tracks exactly what you had, but we walked out and there it was. So I go to the garden. I take it out of its box. I unwrap it. I set it on the side. So I start putting condiments on.
Yeah.
About 5 seconds into it, it tips off and falls onto the ground and lands.
My God.
And I look down and I go, it's only the bun touching the ground. I just picked it up quickly and finished dressing it and I ate it.
No, you did not.
I used the 5-second rule at Wrigley Field. for my hot dog.
At a
My
the
God.
5-second rule applies at home. At home.
And only at home.
And only
I
at
just didn't want to go
home.
through the line and go and get a whole nother hot dog. I just wanted to eat it and be done.
That's the saddest thing
I know
ever
it
heard.
was really sad. I haven't, if you noticed, when I got back how
He also was very because he walked up to me and he had it in the wrapper and he had maybe like 2 bites left and he goes, I go, how was it? He's like, fine, and just walked away. I didn't know that you ate it off of someone's doo-doo foot ground.
It was very early, so it hadn't been walked on that much.
Yes, it had. It's only been walked on for like 130 years. Yeah, no big deal. It's like the oldest floor in Chicago.
The Billy Goat peed right there.
Yes, Billy Goat
Back
urine.
in 1936.
Jesus, man. Did anybody see this?
Yes.
People saw you do this?
Yeah, I mean,
And you're a major celebrity. You can't be picking
Chicago
up food
people,
off
I'm
the
assuming.
ground.
I don't know.
They're like, look at this rube, dude. He
It
did
wasn't
not.
my proudest moment.
He
but
did not tell us. It's just so
Yeah.
on brand for
I
you too.
know.
Because you're like, I'm not
Do you need
spending
money?
another
Do you need-
$12.
Do you need 12 bucks for another
money?
dog?
I didn't also want to go back to. There was a line. I didn't want. It was hot. I did not want to wait in the line again. I couldn't just bear just throwing it away sadly without even taking a single bite
I love
of my
that his-
one Chicago
I love
hot
that his
dog.
first Chicago dog was dipped in doo-doo flakes, dude. That's your memory of a Chicago dog. You ate it off the floor. I just had a stroke. That's
Hey.
your very first dog.
The good news is tomorrow when we go to Johnny's Beef, we're going to drop it in the urinal first.
Guys, I didn't want to tell you this. I dropped it in the crapper at Johnny's Beef. It was already wet.
Oh, my
I got
God.
it wet. It was dipped. I am dead. And now it makes so much sense. Paulie, it was like nothing I'd ever seen. He was like, yeah, fine. And like walked away from me.
Don't look at me.
Like I just caught him at the glory hole or something. Like, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? He's like, what? Nothing. Go to the bathroom. He did. He was so guilty. I can see it in my mind's eye right now.
Holy crap.
You son of a gun.
I would have
it was-
paid any
it
amount of
was
money to see
humiliating.
this.
And the fact that there were people around make it way worse. You know, some guys telling, like, went back to Jesus, I just saw this guy eat a hot dog off the ground. The guy goes, here at Wrigley Field? What?
Hey, was that guy in the media press box
saw-
yesterday?
He had a Padres shirt on. You got to remember, you're representing our fan base
With
as
my
well.
last name on it.
Yeah, Higgins 26 on the back. Oh, it was legit. So I don't know, man. Like we are,
man.
and then
I
you know,
do have a strong stomach. I'll
You do.
say
I
that
get
about
it.
me.
It's also disgusting, but the guy in the chat said, I think you guys may be the jinx. So last year, SDFC's inaugural season, wanted to go, really wanted to go. My kids wanted to go. They begged me all the time. We could never get it to work, kind of too late sometimes during the weekend. Always missed Kids Day. We had Little League or something. Fine, I'll go to the playoff game. No problem. They lose. They get their ass kicked. They're out of it in 15 minutes. It might be us. It might just be me. I don't know. I said next year because people were like, hey, this is your fault. This happened to us when you went to Philly. It's happening to us now. Stop planning trips. And I said, all right, because I really like doing the trips. First of all, us three getting to go on a trip and bond it's immeasurable for what it does for the chemistry of the show. And that's really important to me and all of us and our friendship, right? Love spending time with you guys away from Adam and Odyssey. I love
the quality time you spend with people when you're traveling too.
It's
like,
great.
Is so much stronger.
It's so much stronger. It's so funny and
Yeah.
you're taking it all in. But I just don't know that us going to a game is the right thing. However, David J. and Hop Run Tours has put on the most fantastic tour. Every I is dotted, every T is crossed. It is like the greatest, most easy, beautiful thing. They've taken such good care of us. My idea is we just go see other teams play. Like next year, join Ben and Woods at Milwaukee to see the Brewers take on the Marlins. No pressure, no nothing. We just go watch a baseball game.
See, I suggested, I know it would appear to be Dodger loving, but if we traveled to watch the Dodgers play in
Would
like a
they
fun
lose?
city, like if we really are the curse, they would lose, right? Wouldn't that be doing our Padres duty?
Watch them go on a run. I think we just go American League teams and just the most random American League teams. All right, we're off to Minneapolis. Going to go see the Twins, and can't wait to see the Twin Cities and where Prince lived.
Next year, we'll
Mall of America.
We got the Guardians and the Orioles.
Right. Here we come, Baltimore. I'm telling you, man, it was a real bummer to sit down. And obviously the game started off so well.
Oh, I mean, could it be any better?
No.
Fernando onto Waveland Avenue.
Man. It was just incredible.
I was like, we fixed him. We fixed him.
Yeah, we fixed him. And it was awesome. And then it was just a death spiral after that. And it was really quite excruciating to sit there. And we were surrounded. There were a lot of Cubs fans, obviously. A lot of Cubs fans around us.
They were nice.
A lot of Padres fans, too.
Yeah.
The Cubs fan is fantastic. They're a fantastic baseball fan. Guy in front of us, you can see him getting a little, he's getting a little fired up when we were yelling. And then I was getting a little fired up when he was yelling. And he obviously got to yell more than I did. Finally, in about the 6th, he turns around and he goes, hey, so what do you think Preller's going to do? And I lean in and I'm like, that's a good question. I said, they keep going like this. There's a faction of the fan base that wants us to sell.
Didn't you say, why don't I text him right now and ask?
No, I wasn't trying to wave my D around. I just was like, look, here's the thing.
He won't text me back.
He won't text me back, but I can text him. I said, listen, here's the thing about AJ. It's always interesting. I said, it's never boring. He just laughed. He goes, no kidding, man. You guys are always in the mix to do something big. He goes, how do you feel about that? I go, I have no idea. I think this team's a bad team. So my logical side says sell off any pieces. There's going to be a strike next year. Revamp, reload, be ready to go when baseball resumes. Then again, stranger things have happened. The Miami Marlins have gone 20-6 in the month of June. And so their schedule's going to get a little bit easier after, the next 5 games are going to suck.
It's weird because you don't want them to give up. What if Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove come back and they have a semblance of a pretty decent pitching rotation in August and September, and you're going like,
well, we could have
they just had a couple of pieces. This team could have made a real run to the postseason. We were bringing up before the show in 2024, they were 50-50. I mean, they're only 2 games above 500 right now, but as long as you're around 500 through 100 games, you can still not just be in the playoff chase. We've said it many times. In 2024, they were the team to beat going into the playoffs, and they were 500 after 100 games that season. So, you don't want to just throw in the towel. But again, if this is what the pitching staff looks like the rest of the season, they don't have enough. So it's not going to last.
The problem with this, Alex, is if you trade Miller, King, and Morihone, that would reload the farm. No question. Do you then? But then what you do when you do that is you're trusting them to A, get the right pieces back, B, get those guys ready to play at the big league level, C, make sure you get enough. They have to be impact players. I mean, if you trade for the likes of guys like Carlos Asuaje, guys of that talent level, Hunter Renfroe, decent players, big league players, but not guys with any staying power. Now, if you trade for the next Kevin McGonigal, Connor Griffin, J.J. Weatherholt, do what you got to do. But do you trust the organization top to bottom to do that, to get those guys ready to come up and produce at the big league level? That's the other thing you have to think of. That you can go get all the young players. And I think our minor league system does a really fantastic job. They really never get to see it through.
Right.
You see these guys pop at other places. So that means that they're on the right track and doing the right stuff, which is why people want to trade for him. But who's the last one we've seen come up really through the ranks? Right. Jackson Merrill. And, Jackson Merrill's got some holes. So, but
few and far between. So that's the other thing. If you do want to sell off, you got to make sure, A, you get the right pieces, and B, you trust the organization to know when to throw the guys in. We joke about how the major leagues are scattered with former Padres everywhere, the big league level. That means the Padres organization knows how to identify talent.
Oh, they can identify talent like a madman. Yeah.
It's just a matter of keeping the right guys and making the right decisions. And there's really no rule book to that. It's a lot of intuition, but it's also a lot of luck.
It's also a lot of luck. Does anybody have any Advil or anything?
Not with me, but we can. It's a radio station. They probably have one of the same Cintas boxes here. It's Odyssey,
All
so
right.
you can
Okay.
raid.
I'm gonna go look.
You can raid someone else's medicine
I'm
cabinet while we
dying.
take our first little time out here. When we come back, we'll set the menu for the program. I do want to alert everybody that we are only going to go until 9 a.m. today, so we can get to Wrigley Field in time for the game. Braden is going to take you up until Sammy's pregame show at 7:20 from 9 until 10:20. But we got a lot to get to. We will set the menu, get to our Padres crap up. Yeah, 4th straight loss. The 4-game winning streak, that has been canceled out immediately, unfortunately. And now the Padres need to salvage the series finale against the Cubs later this morning. They will turn to their best pitcher over the last month and a half or so, Walker Buehler, to try to do so. We will talk all about it coming up. We are broadcasting live from our remote Bill House studios. We know how in Chicago, Illinois. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
First, gang, listen up. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy an insurance policy online. I was just talking about headaches. Super Sure tries to alleviate as many headaches business-wise as they can for you. They are the super agency built for you. They are licensed in every state. So no matter where you're listening from, they'll take care of your business insurance and employee benefits. They've got year-round support for you and your team as well. So at supersure.com, you can access their tools like the fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English. So you can see what's covered and what's not, plus the business value calculator. So you can estimate what your business is worth. You know what actually needs protecting. Please go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All of your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com, paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency. He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Update on Woods' search for the medicine cabinet at Odyssey, Chicago.
I walked around, a little uncomfortable walking around a strange building, but did walk by the sports station here and heard the guy like, all right, we're always happy to talk to our guy, Ozzie Guillen, coming up next. I'm like, oh, my God.
Hot takes being spewed down the hall.
Spewed.
Now, there's a second floor to this building. Maybe it's up there, and you just don't have access. Or maybe they hid it because they knew you were coming.
I knew I was coming.
You've got a reputation.
Adam called his fellow programming director, and he's
out.
like, hey, don't let them know where the Cintas box is.
He will raid it. Yeah, nothing. So I'm just going to power through the next couple of hours, I guess. Yeah, it sucks. I just totally dehydrated or something.
Here's what we've got coming up in those next couple of hours. Got our Padres crap up. We will discuss yesterday's 9-7 loss to the Cubs. And then in our 7 o'clock hour, after Don't Do This, we will be joined by Brett Boone. It is still a big league Wednesday. He may have some Wrigley Field memories that he can share with us in his weekly visit at 7:30. And then coming up at 8 o'clock, since we are traveling tomorrow and Friday's a holiday, we have once again moved up our SDCCU management report. It's not big bank banking. It is better. we will be joined by the skipper of the San Diego Padres, Craig Stammen. We got to meet the Stammen contingent from North Star, Ohio, and the various outlying regions where Craig is from. They were all
extended friends and family.
Yeah, they were all at the Cubby Bear across from Wrigley Field before the game yesterday, and they were kind of, why are all these Padres fans coming up and taking pictures with these guys?
Chubby guys.
And by the way, thanks to everyone who stopped by. It was a scene in there before the game.
It was awesome.
Tons of Padres fans.
So fun.
Tons of Padres fans inside Wrigley Field. Might be more Padres fans at Wrigley Field than there were at Petco Park over the weekend against the Dodgers,
True.
Honestly.
Yeah, true.
We had a huge meetup in the fourth inning behind home plate. I'd say maybe 100 came by and said hello to us. And those were not really any of the 60 plus people who were on the trip with us either.
Yeah.
Those were just other Padres fans who were in town, some from San Diego, some from Arizona, Denver, different parts of the country that have come just to see their team play at Wrigley Field. So that was really cool. We will talk to Craig Stammen at 8 o'clock in the manager's report. Then at 8:20, we'll play our last game of Take on Woods, last chance to qualify for the staycation. It's going to be a TV category today to wrap up our short week. And then 8:35, MLB Reach Around, World Cup Reach Around. We do have the U.S. playing tonight. 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock here. We're going to be watching it at the Billy Goat after the game with our crew. Mexico, of course, had the big win last night, 2-0. So they move on to the round of 16 with their victory over Ecuador in front of just a rabid 100,000 or so people at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City last night. I saw the highlights, and the crowd noise just from the highlights is like nothing I think I had ever heard in a stadium before.
I saw pictures of Darren Smith, his watch party that he had down in Mission Beach or Mission Bay. I can't remember.
Mission Beach, yeah.
Mission Beach. Insane. like pandemonium. It was really, really cool and special. Did you guys? No, it was just me. I got cornered by the Stammen contingent.
You got cornered. Yeah, you were talking to them a little bit more than I saw anybody else.
So they said to me, "You want to hear the stories that I heard?
Please.
I got stories. If you guys want to hear
learn more about
stories of our skipper, I guess
It's either story time or talk about last night's game.
Oh, let's do story time then." So a guy came up to me, kind of a good old boy, and he goes, "Hey, who are you guys?" And I said, "Well, I'm Woodsy. That's Ben. That's Paul. We do the morning show at station in San Diego. Came out to watch the guys. Brought a bunch of listeners." He goes, "I'm an old friend of Stammen's." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." And he had a Dayton shirt on. And Craig went to Dayton. And he goes, "You want to hear a story about how Craig got into Dayton?" And I was like, "Something tells me you're going to tell me anyway. So fire away. I'd love to hear it." Then the guy's dad comes up. He's like 87. "I didn't talk like this, but you couldn't hear him because the bar was really loud." And he kept talking to me, and I'm looking at him nodding, going, "I know. Yeah, totally. That's good."
What?
So the guy says, "You want to hear how Stammen got a scholarship to Dayton?" I said, "Sure." He goes, "Hey, he wasn't even good. Nobody was on him. I was the only one on him. And I went and played golf with their head coach. And he said, I'm going out to this tournament, American Legion. You know about American Legion?" "Yes, I know about American Legion." He goes, I said, "Well, who are you going out there to watch?" He said, I was going out there to watch this one guy, center fielder, speedy, good arm." He goes, "Hey, better take a look at Stammen." And he kept calling him Stammen. "You better take a look at Stammen, too." He goes, "All right, I'll take a look at Stammen." Goes out, watches this Legion tournament. Apparently, Stammen comes out and just shoves. Just shuts the other team down and shoves. Coaches from Indiana, coaches from Valpo, coaches from all over the Midwest are like, "Who's this guy?" So apparently, the coach from Dayton walked up to all of them and were like, "Hey, guys, don't even waste your time. I already got him signed to Dayton. So don't waste your time on Stammen. I got him." They're like, "Oh, you got a good one. You got a good one, coach." "Yeah, I do." He didn't have him locked up.
He just bluffed his way.
He bluffed his way
out
through
of the rest of the recruitment.
Runs into the dugout, apparently. Was like, "Hey, man. Hey, I'm Coach Tony or whatever from Dayton. I got $4,000 left in scholarship. It's all yours. Sign here. You're coming to Dayton." Craig's like, "Okay, sounds good." It signs right there in the dugout, just like that. From off the radar to on the radar and college scholarship. But they're actually having breakfast with him
right now
or right around when we're I doubt they're up doing breakfast.
They said 8:30.
Oh, about 8:30. Okay.
Yeah.
What time is it here? It's 8:30. Okay.
Yes.
6:30. I thought we had him at 8:20.
6:40 back at home.
When do
we have him at 8 o'clock our time, so 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock
Central time. Yeah.
I'm all a mess. So anyway,
he needs to be at the ballpark by the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be probably calling us from Wrigley at that point.
He's at breakfast with these cats right now. They may be watching.
It might
They
be.
may be watching at
Good
breakfast.
morning, Craig.
Morning, Craig.
Talk to you in about an hour and a half.
And he took a picture with us, and I go, hey, tell him if they don't win tonight, he's in deep ass tomorrow. He goes, I'll text him right now. I was like, no, you don't have to. Whatever. Really nice guys. And I'll tell you, look, I think Craig is he's a world-class human being. He's the kind of guy that you really root for to win baseball games. Don't know that he's going to. You know, there's no way to tell if he's going to win baseball games. He's won about half of his games.
Well,
right now.
I mean,
he won about half.
You know, let's be reasonable in our judgment. Connie Mack could have thrown J.P. Sears and Ron Marinaccio with the wind blowing out at Wrigley Field. Probably not going to go that well.
I don't know how well Joe Torre would have managed J.P. Sears. I think it's a lot of times. I mean, has Craig made mistakes? Yes, 100%. And he would tell you the same, but
I don't know. I was told 2025 Mike Schultz would never have pitched J.P. Sears and Ron Marinaccio in a game at Wrigley Field.
Yeah. So I look at it and I go, man, you're such a good human. He's such a good human, like the best human. And they said it's not, this is who he's always been. This is not like everyone thinks Ben's like a good human, but he eats hot dogs off the floor.
Doesn't make me a bad human.
Actually, a deviant.
I don't like to waste things.
Stingy kind of. But he's a real, actual good human. He would never do those things.
The Ohio contingent, because I did talk to a couple of them as well. They have such pride in the people that come from their area. Craig Stammen, everyone is just celebrating him. But
so proud.
I talked to another one of the Stammen people, and they actually came from nearby. I believe it's Maria Stein, Ohio, and they said our town is actually proud. Our big star that we produced was Corey Lupke.
Yes.
And he said with the sign actually in the town when you drive in and says home of Corey Lupke.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, former Padres prospect.
And it made me think, how small of a town would we have to be from for that just the sign to say home of Ben and Woods?
Home of Ben and Woods. Oh, it's a podunk dump.
I don't think we're ever going to pull into San Diego population 1.6 million, and it's going to say home of Ben and Woods.
I'm not saying that it shouldn't, but it'd be great if it did. But no, it was cool. It was they were really nice guys, man. So, again, salt of the earth, which is what he is. And again, you want it for him because he is such a good human being. And don't we want good human beings to get good stuff? I think we used to, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Now, I don't know if that's the case anymore, but I want good things for good people. And he is a good person. That being said, does he know how to manage a baseball game? I don't know. Jury's out. He went to win about half their games.
To win about half of its games.
I guess you're doing the right thing.
It's really hard to analyze what kind of job Craig Stammen has done so far.
It is.
As manager of the Padres.
Hey, very average. He's done a very average job because they're a very average team.
I'd be curious, if you guys ask him and figure out how to word it, but how does he think he's done as a manager?
Ooh, I like that.
Halfway through the season. How would he evaluate himself?
And we'll also ask him about the challenges lately.
You want to ask him? You want me to ask him? Because I want to ask him.
I'll ask him for sure. You want to ask him? Go ahead.
What's your problem?
Not challenging when you need to be challenging. You're challenging way too much when you don't need. What kind? I mean, I've never seen a teeter-totter swing so big from how can you not challenge a full count bases loaded strike to
why are
we challenging 1-0 pitches in the first
or
inning
whatever,
that mean nothing at all and losing both of them before I've even sat down in my seat at the game?
I'm telling you, man.
I didn't realize it because it's harder to tell sometimes when you're at the ballpark. Mm-hmm. And I look up and I go, why aren't they challenging? And the guy next to me says, they don't have any left. I go, they don't have any left. It's like the third inning.
We were at the meet and greet, and somebody was like, oh my God, we just used our last challenge. I'm like, what? Dude, it was crazy. It was crazy.
All right, let's check traffic. We got Kyle again back at the studios for one more day. Appreciate you, Kyle. We'll check traffic, then we'll come back with our Padres crap up, and we'll discuss last night's 9-7 loss at Wrigley Field coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's your latest traffic update.
Getting into San Diego on the 52 westbound, traffic is sluggish from the 125 past Mass Boulevard. Then it's pretty clear all the way to the 5. I'm Sam Tidrick, Odyssey, San Diego traffic.
In a crash. No one makes summer plans for fines or a trip to the hospital after a crash. So slow down and follow the speed limit. Make your 100 days of summer and beyond the safest ones. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans.
It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
how did things play out in yesterday's game?
Supremely stupid.
It's time for the Padres
Crap up.
with Ben and Woods. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, here's something to cheer you up. The rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the pump and figure it out.
This game has got to come to an end.
2-2. Fernando launches it in the air, deep to left field. Hap is going back to watch. This one gonna go all the way out to Waveland Avenue in left field. Fernando Tatis, a leadoff home run here in the first. And the Padres hop on Matthew Boyd. It's 1-0. First pitch swinging, ground ball up the middle into center. That's a base hit. Suzuki will round third. He'll come in to score. And Carson Kelly, an RBI single to tie the game. 1-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Swanson swings, hits it in the air, high and deep to left center field. You can forget it. Dansby Swanson well into the bleachers. His 12th home run of the season. And the Cubs have gone ahead 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Bregman swings, hits it a mile to deep left field. Taylor goes back, but he's got no shot. It's a 3-run home run for Alex Bregman. A no-doubter to the bleachers in left field. Got a cutter top of the zone. He did not miss. And the Cubs now lead 5-1 here in the second inning. And he swings, sends it in the air to deep right field again. Alcantara racing back to the corner. He'll look up, and it's going to go into the basket. A 2-run homer. Manny Machado with the second Padre home run of the night. And he has tightened things up. It's 5-3 here in the top of the third. The lefty swings at the first pitch. Hits it a mile in the air to right field. Bowen is back to watch. This one going to go out to Sheffield. Saw Tatis at Waveland in the first, and now Bush to Sheffield in the fifth. Up over the last row of the bleachers in right, and the Cubs have added on 6-3. Swanson swings, hits it in the air, deep to left center field. That will be another. Swanson towards the video board in left center. Hit it off the video board in left center. Not just another homer, another long homer. Fourth of the night for the Cubs. A 2-run shot. It is now 8-3 here in the bottom of the fifth. 0-1. That's in the air to deep. Taylor's going back. He is at the wall. It's going to go. One of the shorter home runs of the night, but it's a home run nonetheless. And Pete Crow Armstrong, with his 18th of the season, has added on. It's 9-3. Pitch, he swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. Dean is back. This one gonna go. Gavin Sheets, a 3-run homer. Third of the night for the Padres. And don't go anywhere. It's 9-6. Tatis swings, sends it in the air to right field. That's deep. Dean is going back. He is on the track. He's at the wall, leaps up. This one gonna go. Fernando opposite field into the basket. Padres have hit their 4th home run of the night. Tatis' second, and it's 9-7. Merrill swings, loops it in the air to shallow left field. Hap coming on. He's gonna get there, and he makes the catch to end the ball game. Padres go 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th inning, and a wild one at Wrigley ends with the Cubs on top 9-7 as the teams combine for 26 hits, 9 of which went over the fence.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest part. And when the environment is the way it is, you really have to control counts. You have to put it in your favor and then be able to make pitches and expand the zone as you go. The other way around is you're shrinking the zone, and throwing it in there. Both pitchers, whenever they got behind, it was a tough night to pitch.
Yeah, we've been saying many times all season long, it's not the pitching's fault. They need help from their offense. Last night, no, that was the pitching is fault. And Stammen's right. I mean, the wind is blowing out. Both teams have to deal with it. But clearly, the Cubs got ahead in counts, and it made a huge difference. The Padres consistently, it felt like every time I looked up, it was 2-0, 3-1.
Yeah, Sears
just
especially was now
constantly. And Stammen put it perfectly there. That allowed every single Cubs batter to basically shrink the strike zone to exactly what they wanted. Yep. And then they got it, and they hit it for a home run.
Punished everything.
Every out was, we were marveling the whole game. Like the first PCA, the first out Sears got was a bullet to Ty France. He didn't have to move his feet. 109 off the bat. Manny
had one of those line drive right at him, but it was 106 off the bat.
Now, the difference is, man, we hit some balls hard. Nico Horner, I hate to see that guy coming with a glove on his hand. He absolutely destroys us. He robbed 2 base hits last night. One by Jackson Merrill that would have been a really, really clutch knock. And he was great. They made plays we didn't. We threw the ball around. We didn't make the plays we needed to make. And again, we didn't challenge properly. We didn't pitch well. I mean, it's just not a recipe for much success.
But the offense, 4 home runs, 13 hits. They hit the ball on a line a ton. They had some hard outs as well. Yeah, the offense did its job yesterday. It was definitely the pitching staff. And as you said, kind of on the margins, the challenges, the error in the first inning on Fernando Tatis Jr. And by the way, part of that was not a great throw by Manny to start the double play that caused Fernando to be off balance.
Did you think that was a bad feed? I thought he was set up in a weird spot. He was set up in front of the bag.
There might have been a footwork issue. I think it was a footwork he was definitely pulled toward the first base side quite a bit. I don't know.
I feel like he was set up weirdly because we watched it on the replay like 5 times. And I go, Paulie's like, oh, that was a bad feed. I go, it hit him right in the glove, right where he was standing. I just think he was in a weird spot. He was like, he was to the right of the bag in front of it instead of behind it to get the throw.
Yeah, it looked like a bad feed.
I think it was perfect.
It was just weird positioning by Fernando. He came across the bag weird.
Yeah.
And his momentum just carried him, and how the ball
flipped it.
It's just disappointing for a guy who has played intermittently at second base for almost a month. You just expect better, and
he's no Nico Horner. That's for sure.
Right. At this point.
But I'm telling you guys, man, you thought it looked bad on TV. When the Cubs would put a swing on these balls and they would go majestically into the Chicago sky, and you look at it and you're like, that is a no-doubter. And I mean a no-doubter.
It's such a weird difference. And again, it was hot and the wind was blowing out, and it's Wrigley. So all those things work together. But you go to a game at Petco Park and someone hits a deep fly ball and everyone gets excited. And I'm like,
nope,
don't bother. No, it's not going out. This time it's like, is it go? Oh yeah, it's going out. Is it? Oh yeah, it's going out. And then I was almost surprised by the end of the game when there was a fly ball that actually did die at the warning track. I'm going, everything is going out here.
Toddy had one off the end of the bat, and some Padres. I'm like, I don't think he got it, but it was.
But a couple of moon shots were unbelievable to see in person. Yeah. And then when I watched the highlight from the TV feed later of some of those home runs, you much better angle than when you're there live. And you're like, oh my God, they were just hitting missiles.
They hit nukes, man. Their outs were loud. Everything was loud. It was, we talked on the roundtable last week about, does JP Sears get another start? He did. He got one last night. Now, down on the farm, Herman Marquez came in. He worked 2/3.
He's going to come in the bullpen if he comes back, though. It looks like not as a starter. Yeah,
we're just piggybacking 3 or 4 guys.
Mean, it's probably Johnny Brito or Matt Waldron if they need another starter from the minor leagues, and they may. We will see. Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Imagine when we come back, there is someone I want to salute on the Padres from last night's game that's not one of the offensive players. Plus, we're going to give away some tickets, another pair to the Bill Burr show at Pechanga Arena. So you'll have an opportunity to win coming up in hour number 2 of Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Hour number 2, Ben and Woods, live from Chicago, Illinois. Our final day here of the trip. We'll head home tomorrow, and then we'll be back with you Monday morning from our Odyssey studios in San Diego. Wherever we are, though, we are in the Bill House studios. We know how.
Are we? Oh.
We are.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how it works.
Oh, okay.
It was very cool to see, Fernando, Manny hit home runs in person at Wrigley Field. I will have that memory for a lifetime.
Sure.
Still disappointed with the outcome of the game. Again, the pitching, JP Sears, I saw in our chat. We couldn't totally see it from our seats, but they said just dripping with sweat. I mean, just dripping
Not
with
surprised.
sweat.
We were dripping.
We were
sitting there.
We were dripping with sweat just sitting in the stands. I know
It's unbearable.
I know it's hard to judge anybody's performance on a day like that. It was physically taxing for everybody. It was tough out there. But I did want to salute one Padres pitcher. Wandy Peralta did not allow a single run in the month of June.
Oh, wow.
He did not. He only allowed 2 in the month of May, but he's 18 innings, 11 hits, no runs in the month of June. Got a little dicey there in the 8th inning when the Padres had pulled within 2, and it looked like the Cubs are going to put it back away again. And Wandy got out of the jam after Jackson had trapped that ball, and they reviewed it, and he had a couple of guys on. He was still able to get out of the inning and give the Padres a chance. They didn't do anything with it in the 9th, other than force the Cubs to use a couple more relievers late in the game, which could have an impact on today's game. You never know. I mean, that's why you keep fighting to the end, even if you don't win. The consequences from one game can have an impact on future games. The Padres stayed away from any of their high leverage pitchers, other than Wandy, who, is certainly could be considered that at this point with the kind of season he's having. A 1.62 ERA.
I was dying, dude. I went to the Savant page for the game last night. I wanted to check out some top exit velos, right? Because again, the ball was being pummeled all over the yard. So the Padres actually had the top 5 highest. Toddy, Sheets, Machado, and Duhar. Toddy again.
Are you sure that wasn't the temperature when they hit the ball? Okay.
The top distances, though, mostly belong to the Chicago Cubs, with Swanson with 2 bombs, Bush with 1, and Alex Bregman with another one.
How many home runs were hit total last
11.
night?
11.
Good
I think, right? No, 9. 9 last night. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, 5 from them, 4 from us.
Correct.
The top pitch velocities last night. Wandy Peralta with all 5, 97.8 and down to 96.8. So he got them all. JP Sears, congrats. He had the most swings and misses last night, which is hard to believe that you actually got swings and misses last night. But yeah, man, it was ugly. And again, you talked about the deep or the really, really favorable hitting counts for the Chicago Cubs, who have got some good hitters, and their lineup is deep. When you go down their lineup and you got Ian Happ hitting down. I mean, that's a pro hitter right there. They had Alcantara in there last night, or Alcantara, who's kind of like a 4th outfielder type for them. But even he brings a little speed. He's got a decent glove. Like, they have a good team. They have a good lineup. And with PCA hitting the way that he has, and of course, Dansby Swanson at the bottom of the order with 2 home runs, and it was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs are red hot. They're 14-4 in their last 18 games.
They're also apt to go 0-10 in their next 10.
They've had like massively good and bad stretches already this season, like 2 good ones, a humongously bad one in the middle of the season. They run hot and cold, and it certainly has to do a lot with the streakiness of their offense. I mean, Dansby Swanson has one of the weirdest stat lines at this point, at the midway point of the season. He finally, I think, got up to a 200 average, but he's also among the league leaders in RBI. He's just like, he picks the exact right times to get his hits and his home runs, because he's driven in a ton of runs this season. And when he's going, obviously, that really lengthens that Cubs lineup.
What's he got now? He had 15 RBI in a 24-hour span. He had a bunch last night. I mean, how many RBIs
Dansby is now at, for the season, give me some stats here, 49 runs batted in.
He's batting 203
with a 203
He's got 13
average.
homers, and his OPS is almost 700. But yeah, man, you're giving up all kinds of tanks to the bottom of the order. It was fugly last night at Wrigley Field.
Manny's now up to 16 home runs.
Yep.
Certainly.
Damn near had another one, man. I thought he had that one the first.
He's still going to get right around 30, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was, this is good. KG says, well, the Padres run ice cold and lukewarm. That's a really good way to put it. Not really hot and cold, just ice cold and like lukewarm for a few days.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, try to rebound today, salvage again, because again, you're going straight from here to LA.
4.
4 in LA. They've already moved their rotation around so that you're going to get Shohei on day one. I feel like today you go chase this win. You know what I mean? Like knowing Shohei's on the bump, just chase this win hard today. I think he's
Thursday
pitching,
or Friday.
Is he pitching
I
Thursday?
thought I saw Friday, but he's definitely moved him
Friday.
back into the Padres series of one of those first 2 games for sure. But whatever.
Padres are sending out Buehler today. That's going to be probably their best chance, right?
Best shot.
To get a win and salvage a series.
Yeah, it's going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough.
I noticed that, as Matthew Boyd walked off the field, Cubs fans gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And, his numbers, 5+, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed. He only struck out 2, but the big one, 0 walks.
0
and it's just
walks.
It's just so true. You look at that walks stat every game, and it almost always tells the story. If Padres pitchers keep the walks down to a minimum, 0, 1, 2, they probably won. And if you see Padres pitchers walk 5 or 6 guys during the game, they probably lost. It feels like it's been a correlation all season long between walks and how the Padres finish on the scoreboard at the end of the night. And JP Sears just walked too many guys early in the game. Ron Marinaccio wasn't much better either. So, but I saw fans complaining that there wasn't a quicker hook for JP Sears from Craig Stammen. You can't take every pitcher out in the 3rd inning.
Yeah,
you
just can't kill you. It just will kill you.
And you can in the playoffs.
You can in the playoffs,
but not in June.
This is the playoff game.
And again, with the long stretch of games that they have, it's not a tournament. It's not a tournament where you can say, hey man, you have to let them stay out there. He was bound and determined to get him to 100 pitches last night. And really, frankly, we needed it. Now, the late inning comeback, certainly no way to know. Just no way to know. But the starters have got to do a better job, man. And are we asking too much of very, very mid-level starters?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
Today is July 1st, which is a notable day on the sports calendar for a couple of reasons. Baseball fans love to point out it's Bobby Bonilla Day. The Mets pay him another $1 million and change today, as they do every year through the year 2035 for the contract that he signed long ago. But when you look at it, and the Mets got made so much fun because Bonilla at the end of his career wasn't as productive, and you were on the hook for decades for this guy.
Yeah.
But that's a rounding error on Juan Soto's contract.
Correct.
1 point whatever million is nothing to the New York Mets, and they knew that long ago. We'll defer all this money out, and we may take a PR hit, but we get to hold on to that money for years and years and years. And then by the time we give it to him, not going to be worth nearly as much as it was.
Not even close.
When we thought, 1997, that's $1 million. My God. Now it's like the Mets, they pay everybody tons of money. They pay Juan Soto 60 times as much as that. The other notable July 1st change, and this one affects Paul Reindl. Paul, you have now graduated from a Pac-12 school, because the San Diego State Aztecs are officially today a member of the Pac-12.
I don't know that you're grandfathered in there, though. I really don't. I
don't
maybe
feel like I was a Pac-12
maybe kids that are there now.
Yeah.
Like if you're there now, you're grandfathered in, you're now a Pac-12 school.
Alumni know.
Like Hannah didn't go to a Pac-12 school,
Yeah. I did see
your alma mater is now a Pac-12 school, because this was the day they officially changed over from the Mountain West to the Pac-12. The new conference alignments are now in place. So going forward, for at least the next 6 years, I think, and before they have probably more conference realignment, the Aztecs are in the newly formed Pac-12.
I saw they announced the Pac-12 tournament will be at the MGM Grand Gardens in Vegas. So San Diego State going to have a couple of trips to Vegas still every year. They got the Players Invitational and then the Mountain West.
Yeah, instead of playing at UNLV's arena, they get to play it at a neutral site, which is good. I mean, the Pac-12 is a name now. You
give me the conferences in the Pac-12 now.
Teams. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. Washington State and Oregon State are the only 2 remaining from the old Pac-12.
Are you talking basketball right now or football?
So
Gonzaga's in it.
Gonzaga's in for basketball, which is exciting. San Diego State, Colorado State, Utah State, Fresno State is going, and I think I'm missing at least one more, but it's not 12. They call them the 12, but they're There's only 9 basketball and 8 football schools. Texas State is the new one that they're adding to make
State,
it 8
Washington
in football.
State, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, SDSU, Texas State, and Utah State.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your new
states.
That's your new Pac-12 conference.
Odd.
It's very odd. It's very odd because this was, again, the dream for San Diego State fans for so many years was we need to get to the Pac-12.
Get to the Pac-12.
JD Wicker's dream was, I'll be the athletic director that got us to the Pac-12. And then the Pac-12 exploded.
Yeah.
And now it's called the Pac-12, but this is not what you had in mind. You wanted to be playing with Stanford and Cal and Arizona and Arizona State. Even if USC and UCLA were gone, they were the first two. You would have been more than happy to be part of that conference.
Washington,
Utah,
Oregon,
and Colorado, and Washington, and Oregon.
Yep.
That would have been great. That would have been a huge win for San Diego State. Now you're just in the Mountain West,
with a new name.
With a new name.
It's like when you go see Skinnerd, but everyone's dead.
Right.
Yeah. Right?
Yes.
And you're like, what? You
get
not
the
only
you have the logo of the band.
Yeah, not only you weren't in the band, everybody's dead that was in the original band. But you are Leonard Skinnerd. Okay. All right. I saw Skinnerd, I guess I can say.
That's so crazy, though. 8 teams, like in football, 8 teams in the conference, and every single one of them is a state school. There's no like Washington University.
Right.
It's Washington State, Oregon State, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Texas State, and Utah State.
Interesting. Maybe in 30
state
years. 97.3 The Fan. It's our Ben and Woods morning show. I'm Jerry. This is Ted.
I'm Fred.
And our producer Phil.
Mike. Yeah, there he is. Morning. I'd love to keep this brand going.
Cast is all dead, but we keep the brand going.
Keep the brand going. Kiss has talked about doing that, by the way. Like, hey, when we die, let's just have other guys in makeup playing our songs, and the brand will live forever.
So,
pretty good idea.
July 1st, the notable day on your sports calendar. Let's take a quick time out. When
Postal says it's a Pac-12 cover band. Yeah,
pretty Pac-12 cover.
Pretty
tribute band. Yeah, tribute band. That's what
Play
it is.
all the hits. Exactly. When we come back, don't do this. A rookie in Major League Baseball has a moment that he will probably still be remembered for, even if he goes on to have like a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
This one's going to follow him around for a very long time. We'll get to DDT coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, want to talk about Trajan Wealth. Trajan, San Diego, an incredible place to live, but we all know it's not getting any cheaper. Housing, healthcare, taxes, groceries, it all adds up. And when you start thinking about retirement, of course, one fear is going to rise to the top. What if my money doesn't last because of all the price increases? Well, that's where Trajan Wealth comes in. TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth's fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for today's reality, factoring in inflation, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living in San Diego. They take the time to understand your goals and your comfort level because no two retirements look the same. Trajan Wealth has offices at Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Del Mar, and they work with people who want confidence, not constant financial stress, which I think is all of us, right? If this has been on your mind, start with a conversation. Call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1, or go online to TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Brett Boone on a Big League Wednesday coming up at the bottom of the hour. First, though, Don't Do This is brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and
enjoy it.
All right. No one for the Cleveland Guardians was enjoying what happened last night against the Texas Rangers. 2-2 game in the seventh inning. One out runner on second base when Guardians rookie outfielder Cooper Ingle caught a routine fly ball for the second out. Here's where it gets DDT-ish. Cooper Ingle thought it was the third out and immediately walked over, flipped it to the fans in the stands. Umpires immediately called dead ball and allowed the runner at second base to come home and score the go-ahead run. Turned out to be the winning run as the Texas Rangers went on to a 4-2 win over the Cleveland Guardians. After the game, Ingle said, obviously, I feel terrible. It's a pretty embarrassing feeling. His teammates and manager stood up for him and said, hey, even Hall of Famers have made that mistake before. Obviously, it can't happen, but it did happen. I thought the quote actually from former Padre Austin Hedges was pretty good. He says, I've made so many mistakes, I can't even remember half of them. I've embarrassed myself 1 billion times on the field. Just check my offensive numbers for my career. Yeah. So 100%. They tried to support him, but it's been a tough season. A lot of rookies that they've been playing in Cleveland throughout the season. Stephen Vogt as the manager, and that's going to happen sometimes. But I don't know. It's like it wouldn't have to happen if you didn't ever normalize like throwing the ball into the stands. Like, just don't ever do it. Just make sure you always just run in with the ball, but they're never going to.
It's obvious that major league stadiums need to have a gazillion different light boards and scoreboards that show you exactly. Look,
it's one thing to forget when, people are just holding up a finger and you look around, there's nothing else, and you just have to remember.
Go to a little league game, and then you get mad at the 8-year-olds for forgetting how many outs are. Like, there's no scoreboard. So, okay, you're also 8. It's really an inexcusable mistake. But again, it happened. You're not going to crucify the kid. He's a rookie. You know what he won't do ever again? That. That's not one I think you'll make twice.
It's unfortunate, especially for Tanner Bybee. Having a tough season, that made him a loser. He's now 2-9. He's probably the one that,
dude, do it. I was going to be.
I got through 7 innings of 2-run ball. I was at least going to get a no decision for once, and now, of course, I lose again. That's thanks to this rookie.
Be interesting if you can put losses, like somebody makes some huge mistake or something like that. And you're like, you know what? Actually, the loss goes to the rookie. Yeah. He's 0-1 this year.
Cooper Engel, 0-1.
Tanner Bybee is off the hook. Man, this is crazy. We were sitting in our seats last night, and I go, hey, Paulie, look at this. You'll never believe who got involved in another brawl. And it's Wilson Contreras. Again, last night, the Red Sox first baseman, former Cubs catcher, involved in yet another incident.
So weird that he's always in the middle of this
stuff. It's such the boy that cried wolf at this point, man. But, okay, so there's layers to this onion, so to speak. Baseball players are so sensitive sometimes. And Cade Cavilli was pitching for the Washington Nationals. Contreras got thrown out at third base. So he was
for the Washington Nationals, by the way.
13 punchies last night.
Damn.
So Contreras gets thrown out at third base, like forced out, runs back to the dugout. Cavalli's walking towards the plate. They're like intersecting. And he ran right in front of Cade, and Cade took exception to it because, well, he's a baseball player, and that's what they do.
Do pitchers have the right of way? Is that like when you come to a four-way intersection, is it the pitcher who has the right of way or the base runner
around the mound? Back? Remember Dallas Braden getting so upset that A-Rod walked on his mound? Get the F off my mound. I mean, everybody just gets real fiery out there. So I guess what Cade didn't see is Contreras turned around and said, "Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to cut you off." Right? Surfers get really mad if you cut off their wave, right? So it's kind of like that,
for
right?
Sure. But he apologized.
But Cade didn't see that. So then he strikes out Contreras on a nasty curveball looking. And as Contreras is walking away, he didn't just put his head down. Of course, he stared out at Cade. And Cade goes, this is what makes it interesting. He says, "Sit down, boy."
Oh.
And it's the boy, I think, that sparked the rage inside Wilson Contreras, who then the bench is clear, the bullpens run out, a helmet gets thrown by Wilson Contreras into the fray. He's probably going to be suspended. It's the second game in a row he's been ejected.
Cade Cavalli's probably going to get suspended too, though.
He didn't even get ejected.
But he'll probably get suspended given and our friend Craig Calcaterra was writing about it. The history of comments like that is usually leads to a suspension. Like the homophobic comment that PCA made, and he got suspended for 2 games earlier this year.
Duran.
Or not PCA, it was Duran, a couple of games. And, that's PCA just going to escalate.
And he got fined. This is a great point. I'm glad this guy brought it up because I was going to bring this up. Panadero 619 said, "Isn't Contreras from Venezuela? He's got a lot on his mind right now. Friends and family members are missing." 1,000%. The only thing that I would say in rebuttal to that is he acts this way when there's not catastrophe in Venezuela, right? He's always doing this. He's always in the mix. I tweeted 3 months ago, Wilson Contreras is who people think Manny Machado is, right? They think that Manny is this, that, and he's not. He's not even close. And Wilson has been doing this for a while. It's hard. It gets harder and harder to defend. Right now, I'll say this:
nobody's here jumping to defend Wilson Contreras, and you're not going to defend the actions that he did. Yeah, I mean, throwing a helmet, starting a fight, and all that. But when you factor in that context, you're like, man, he's not the only one to blame there.
Sit down, boy.
Yeah,
that'll get you.
Yeah,
that'll get you.
Yeah,
that'll get you straight up.
Yeah, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, straight up.
Yep.
I mean, whether, if you want to say it's racist, I think there's a decent argument there.
Yeah.
It's hugely disrespectful to say it to anybody in that context and tone.
Yeah, there's a million things.
Dude, you can be like, "Hey, what up, boy?"
Yeah,
that's totally fine.
Hey, my boy.
The tone is
sit down, boy.
Is incredibly important in this.
Hey, boy.
Yeah, sit down, boy is just disrespectful to anybody.
He does not get, in Wilson, again, the Venezuela stuff aside, it's horrific. He doesn't get, in my opinion, enough grief nationally like other players do. It's constant with him. It's always, if he hits a homer, he celebrates.
Yeah,
loudly.
Joanna says in the chat, the announcers are always defending him.
But if he strikes out, he's the first guy to stare out at the mound like, he's like an umpire that rips his mask off.
An escalator. An escalator.
That's right. So listen, some suspensions will be coming down today, and it's tough. The Red Sox are playing better baseball. They're fighting to stay in this thing right now and not have to sell off pieces. And the Nationals are in it right now as well. It feels like every team is in it right now except for a few.
Look for a lot of ejections in kind of the Midwest and the Northeast today, though, because this would be a great day to get tossed early.
It also makes you crazy. Like it not only would be a great day to hit the showers early, but it also makes you insane. Yeah. It makes you insane. Like crazy from the heat's a real thing. If I'm somebody today, I'm like, you can run me if you want to. I'm hitting the showers.
All right, speaking of Venezuela, it's time for Do This.
DD Mega Doo.
And congratulations. Well, just I guess thank you to the San Diego Padres, who announced yesterday a $100,000 donation toward Venezuela earthquake relief efforts, which is fantastic. And it also comes along with, and I thought this was pretty cool and exciting, Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association together, as they're discussing their CBAs, have come together to donate $1 million toward Venezuelan earthquake relief. So
how much did Ben Higgins, Esquire, donate to the Venezuelan relief?
I am promoting Venezuelan earthquake relief right now on the radio.
So that's
doing my part.
So that's your contribution.
Doing my part.
Your contribution is promotion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As is usually the case.
You're not promoting anything. You're just reporting that
that somebody else donated.
Sure. I'm
can
making
people
it
give?
aware. I don't know if they put a total.
Thanks for promoting that, by the way.
GoFundMe or how that works.
Do you know
Just
what
send it to
promoting
me. I'll make sure it gets to Venezuela.
Guys, I got a new record coming out at some point. Not sure when. Don't know what it's called.
You'll
don't
figure
know
out
where you
what
can
it's
get
called.
I think the Red Cross is where to go. Redcross.org/MLB if you want to add to their relief efforts.
What is it?
Redcross.org/MLB.
Now you've done your job. Now you've done your job.
If you're going to just try to skate by
just promoting everything.
by promoting it, you got to promote it correctly.
Fair enough.
It's unbelievable.
God.
I wonder if there are certain people, Paulie, that promoted and donated. That's cool.
The Do This is a good lesson that even though the Players Association and the owners are right now engaged in acrimonious negotiations,
it's very nice
that they can still come together and do something nice.
It's very nice
and good. And that is Don't and Do This for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, before we do anything else, let's give away another pair of tickets to Bill Burr. The comedian is coming to Pechanga Arena at the end of this month, July 31st, because we are in July, second half of the year. Call now. Be the third caller at 833-288-0973. You can win 2 tickets to see Bill Burr at Pechanga Arena on July 31st. 833-288-0973. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. When we come back, it is a Big League Wednesday. Our pal Brett Boone is going to join us. Wonder if he's got some stories from Wrigley Field while we're here in Chicago, and more coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So yesterday, we're sitting at our deep dish pizza lunch, and I always get a lot of looks like, wait, you're SDFatLoss.com.
Yeah.
It's going, well, I mean, it doesn't mean I can't ever eat again, but I did tell a couple of people, like, if this had been 4 years ago, I probably would have put down 3 or 4 of those deep dish pizzas because I ate differently. And SDFatLoss.com kind of helped change how I look at food. I still eat things that I like, but I tend to get full faster. My metabolism works faster. I think I've actually lost some weight on this trip through the heat and all the walking we've done. Honestly, I'm probably still in the negative for this trip. And that's one of the great things about SDFatLoss.com. Their program will change the way you eat with real food and help jumpstart your metabolism without the exercise. And now I can exercise. I went to the gym twice while I was at this trip. I just feel better about myself. I feel better. Look how I look in my clothes. You can have the same success story. Lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days by signing up at SDFatLoss.com. They'll give you a free consultation. And if you sign up for the program, you can take $200 off right now for 97.3 The Fan listeners with their summer special. And again, no injections and the ongoing expense, the possible muscle loss, the side effects, none of that. It's just real food, real weight loss, sustainable, Maintain it with sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
He did little. Here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Men and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Some other good Padres news before we get to Brett Boone. Luis Campusano was back on his rehab assignment yesterday. Had a couple of hits, including a home run for the El Paso Chihuahuas. If Jake Cronenworth's example is indicative, it may not be long before we see Campy return to the Padres lineup.
Why isn't he here now is what I want to know. Why wasn't he on the red eye from where was he? El Paso or
I'm not sure if they're on the road, but somewhere in the Pacific Coast League. Yeah, it's always that dilemma. Like,
he's ready.
If he's ready to play in a AAA game, should he be ready to play in a big league game? I think you always want to see what if something went wrong. You'd want it.
He should be starting this afternoon.
Be in a controlled environment.
What's a more controlled environment than Wrigley Field?
I would not be stunned if he met the team in Los Angeles, though.
I'm ready. We're ready. We need it.
Get his
all the
legs
help we can
under him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, right now we are going out to our SDCCU fan hotline, and we're joined by Odyssey MLB insider Brett Boone. Brett, the host of the Brett Boone podcast, featuring the most notable names in MLB and around sports every week. Insider calls are presented by Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need delivered when and where you need them. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Good morning, Booney. How are you?
Guys, what's happening?
Wrigley Field, love it or hate it?
Love it.
Love it. Loved playing in it?
Absolutely.
The visitors clubhouse, not great back then, I heard, because it's not great now, and they've updated it.
Horrible.
How bad?
You gotta understand. I like where I get hits. That's all I care about.
Fair.
I love the Coliseum.
Yep.
Because I got hits. Wherever I get hits, I love. So
where didn't you get hits? What was the place you're like?
A lot of places. One that I still can't get over, and back then it was, relatively new, but Camden Yards, it was a notable hitter's haven.
Oh yeah.
The Orioles weren't very good as a staff, and I'd go to Baltimore and I would just start. I'd get the blues on the plane, and I could be hot as a firecracker. I'm like, I'm going to Baltimore though. It's weird how it plays mentally on your mind through the years. Certain places you just thrive, and certain places. If I went to Anaheim Stadium, I could be in an 0 for 20 slump. But if we're going to Anaheim, I know I'm going to get hot, and it's weird. It's just the way it is. But yes, I loved Wrigley. It was challenging to play on back then. It was because when you think of a big league stadium, everything is so pure and so perfect, and there's no bad hops, and everything is so perfectly manicured. That was the case throughout my career, 90% of the time. But Wrigley was one of those parks. Fenway was one of those parks where it seemed like the field was uneven. So defense was a challenge at Wrigley, but when that wind was blowing out, there's not a better place to hit.
And you didn't have to deal with the ivy as an infielder.
That's right.
I'd imagine outfielders.
Well,
that's
I'm a
the brick wall.
player.
Yeah.
We don't. Us infielders who are skilled and play the middle, we don't go to the outfield.
No,
that's for the lesser talented players. That's what I always tell my good buddy Mike Cameron. Cammy was a Gold Glove center fielder, obviously a great center fielder. But when when we'd have a moment, I'd say, Cammy, remember this. You know what a center fielder is? And he said, what's that? I said, that's a middle infielder. They ain't good enough to play the middle. They put you in the outfield. So I always like to check the outfielders. They have to deal with the fans and the young kids getting the
all
cheap
of it.
tickets. I said, you should have played better. You could be in the dirt with us.
But we can't really say that and not offend Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill, who are both doing such a good job. But, Fernando's been back now in the infield a lot at second base. And now that it's been a few weeks, Booney, I was wondering if you had any thoughts on just kind of how he's been doing. Did have an error on a throw last night in the first inning trying to turn a double play. But for the most part, looks more comfortable than I would have expected at second base.
I think Tatis is just one of those freak athletes. When I say freak, I obviously mean it in a positive way. He could do anything. He's one of those guys that you put him wherever you need to put him, and he'll find a way to get the job done. Maybe rough at times and a little bit, and I think more just because he's out of practice. But I think you put him somewhere consistently for a long time, he's going to be good at wherever you put him. He's just that. I mean, I think you proved that. And obviously I kid when I talk about the middle, the infield and the outfield to a degree, But I do believe if you play shortstop at the big league level, you can play anywhere. It's just one of those things that you don't turn people into shortstops, with the rare exception of a Mookie Betts. I don't know how he did that. That's unbelievable to me. But shortstops can play anywhere, but all the other positions, we can't play short. We can fill in, we can fool you for a few games, but if you put us at short for a long period, we'll be exposed.
Talking to our pal Brett Boone here on Ben and Woods this morning. And Booney, so what do you make right now? I mean, the team is scuffling a little bit. They win 4, they lose 4. It's just kind of one of those things. But they're staring down the barrel of a lot of games left until the break. Then they're staring down the barrel after the break to a lot of games right out of the chute. If you are in the front office today, and AJ Preller walks up because Booney, we need to sit down and have an honest conversation about this team. Are we buying or are we selling right now at the deadline? And I know the deadline's a ways away.
Right.
Right.
I just had this talk, about the Texas Rangers with the guys in Arlington. And I said, the thing is, this is the time of year. Everybody knows it. Everybody in that clubhouse knows it. Hey, we've got 1 month to prove to management we're worthy of adding, not subtracting. Because the last thing you want to do is get into to the end of July and you start selling. And all of a sudden, all your guys in that clubhouse, and it's kind of just takes the air out of it. And it's like, all right,
the white flag.
Over.
Yeah, white flag, basically.
Play. So right now is a time for us as players to kind of get together and go, hey, we've got probably a good 3 weeks before they really have to make a decision to prove to them that we're worthy and we're gonna go further this year. So it's really up to the players. I think it's at this stage, it's too premature. You're 2 games out of the wild card. A lot of teams in it right now. Well, in the American League, Padres be sitting pretty, but they're in the National League, which guys are playing a little bit better. I don't know, though. I look up and down, that bullpen we've talked about is so elite. It's just getting to the bullpen sometimes. If you can't get there, it doesn't matter. I think Buehler's been a huge save for this staff, and the way he's pulled it together and done well. King at the top of the rotate, but Vasquez has been shaky lately. Sears had a really rough outing yesterday. Canning and now Giolito's hurt. The offense seems to be getting a little bit better. As much as Manny has really scuffled, he's got 16 homers.
He's hitting it better.
The extra base power has come back.
So I think, offensively, definitely you have guys that are way underperforming. But I look at that starting pitching. Is it going to be enough? The Dodgers, you're not going to catch the Dodgers. Nobody in that division is going to get the Dodgers. But do you have enough starting pitching as of right now to kind of get to July or get to the end of July and make the Padres front office say, hey, let's buy. Let's go get a pitcher. Let's go get a bopper to help these guys in the middle of the lineup. But I think it's just too premature right now. If you were 6-7 games out, okay, you're making the decision easy. But the fact that you're sitting there 2 games, coming off 4 losses in a row, but a week ago you were playing well. So this can change in a heartbeat. You're seeing it all around baseball right now. Teams they win 5, they lose 5. So I think it's just premature. But right now it's just the time for those guys in the clubhouse to get together and say, let's go. This is the time right now. The next 3 weeks is the most important part of especially the Padres season.
Booney, how much, and you've been parts of a bunch of different teams in different positions, right? You've been with veterans, you've been with younger players that are coming up. You've really seen it all in the game. If you're AJ Preller, how much does age factor into it? Like, hey, man, my guys aren't getting any younger. Right. We're staring down the barrel of a potential lockout next year. Like, we got to go. Like, we got to go. This team is going to go until we can't go anymore.
And I think AJ Preller's the type, he wants to add. Believe me, he
Always.
wants to add. And I think that's the attitude you have as a front office. At some point you have to be able to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself and honest with the organization and do what's best. But I think pedal to the metal right now, because almost to the point of delusion. If I'm running the show right now, I'm not having a negative word. Everything is positive.
Yeah.
And I'll make that decision when I have to make it. I always want to add because, Woodsy, I think you hit on a good point. I played this game a long time. I took it for granted early in my career when I got to go some postseasons on some really good teams. I thought, I'll win a World Series or 2 before it's all over. I look up at the end of my career, and I got to go to World Series, but I never got to win one. And I realized how fleeting they are, how impressive they are for the team that win it, because it's so hard to win. So I think whenever there's a slight window and a chance for the fan base, for the people in that clubhouse, you go for it until you can look in the mirror and realistically say, this is not the right thing to do. So I think right now, nothing but positive thoughts for the Padres going forward. Next 3 weeks, huge.
I agree with everything you said, but it's not everybody's perspective. It was very sobering. I was watching the local sports cast, and they were saying, should the Cubs buy? And I was going, well, of course. And they said, absolutely not. This team, I know they're in a playoff position right now, and PCA is red hot, and Dansby Swanson got hot, but with all the pitching injuries, they can't put any more minor leaguers into this team. And they were going, do not buy. That was the advice of the local media for this Cubs team. And I'm going, well, if they're not buyers, how could we ever justify the Padres being buyers? But I mean, different GMs, different cities, different perspectives. We're talking to Brett Boone on a Big League Wednesday.
They won theirs. They got their World Series.
Ben, I wouldn't listen to those guys.
That's a good point too.
And the thing is, 2 weeks later, if you do what they say and then it goes south, they'll have a complaint about it.
Of course. You're right.
So
You're right. No, you're right.
You have to have a reasonable mind, professional, a little delusional at times, because I think you have to be a little delusional to be great. But at the same time, you have to have moments of clarity as well and make rational decisions and not always fly by the seat of your pants.
All right. Last thing for me, Booney. Last night's game was very unpleasant in terms of weather. It was 100 degrees. It was almost 100% humidity. I know you played in bad conditions in your career. Did you have a preference, like too cold or too hot? And do you have any memories of like just one of the most unpleasant games you played weather-wise during your long career?
Worst I've ever played. Oh, some cold Aprils or Septembers in Chicago, because that wind kicks up and man, it's no good. I played in the snow in Colorado. As far as heat, Arlington heat is about as bad as I ever remember. Arizona, you escape it because of the dome. Miami can be terrible because it's hot, muggy, always drizzles at 4:00 in the afternoon every day. So you never get to hit BP. I will take the heat all day as a baseball player versus being a little bit cold, because cold in my hands, I can't feel my fingers. I can't feel the ball turning a double play. If you get jammed, you're going to throw your back out for some reason when you're cold. And I'll take heat all day over, when I played in Cincinnati, it was that old school turf. And your spikes on a given day, the plastic on the bottom of your spikes would melt. We used to come off the field and just put our feet in buckets of water. By the time you got out and got onto the field, they were dry. But I think as players, especially when you're younger, that none of that matters. It's like, I don't care how hot it is. I got to find a way to get some hits and win a game today. The weather really doesn't affect your state of mind. Yeah, before and after the game, getting ready for the game, it'll drive you crazy. But once that national anthem's over, you really put it out of your mind, and weather's not a factor. I can't say that for the cold, though. I've been so cold sometimes where everything's a factor. Now you're layering up. You've got Dickies on. You've got, hats, and that just tells you right there it's really cold. And you look at your buddies, and they're not playing. They've got these coats on and these snowmobile gloves, and you're going, it really is cold, isn't it? So Terrible. It brings it home. The heat isn't that bad. And you get through it, and you find a way for 3 hours to try to get some hits and try to win.
Yeah, but I've been honest, a pitcher is going, I'm always moving. Cold is great. Cold don't want to face me. I can just bust it in on their hands.
Pitchers and catchers.
Two seamers.
They're moving all the time.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Booney. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, guys. Thank you.
That's Brett Boone on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. And, of course, all insider calls brought to you by Grainger, offering the professional-grade products you need delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. I saw a report from Ken Rosenthal once again yesterday that around the league, it is believed that A.J. Preller has both the freedom and is going to have the money with new ownership,
the clearance
to make deals, potentially big ones that add more salary to the San Diego Padres down the stretch.
That's posted on June 30th. Is there no wait and see what happens? What if these guys rip off 14 losses in a row? They're 9 games under 500, 10 games under 500. You're still going to go out and And Booney just said you have to have a moment of clarity and realize what's best for the franchise.
We've said it like a couple of times over the last few weeks, and I know the trade deadline's not tomorrow, but if it was, do you even want the Padres to be buyers right now? I'm not sure that I want AJ to go all in and give whatever's even left in the farm system away for a team that you still don't feel like they have a great shot at making the playoffs.
Or if they do, will they make any noise with this?
Right.
With the starting
is it
pitchers
worth
they have?
mortgaging more of whatever future you've already mortgaged off? I don't know. A tough spot to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I think you always have to be somewhat patient and change your approach if
as it
warranted.
Goes, yeah.
But at this point, I'm still expecting AJ to buy. We've got Craig Stammen, the manager of the Padres, coming up next year on Ben Woods on the Fan.
2/3 of the way done here on Ben and Woods this morning. Going to be heading out to Wrigley Field in a couple of hours. And going to see if we can scratch out a win today. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Rindle, the executive producer of the program, and Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor.
We are going to be traveling tomorrow and off on Friday for the holidays. So we've moved up our Friar Friday management report again to a Wednesday. And joining us right now on our SDCCU fan hotline, it's not Big Bank Banking, it's better. He's just a few miles to the north of us right now here in Chicago, Illinois. The manager of the San Diego Padres, Craig Stammen, back with us. Craig, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, how was your breakfast with your Dayton friends that we met yesterday?
They're doing great. You know,
nice people.
They are great people. You know, I'm proud of where I came from, and
sure,
I get a lot of support from that small town area, from all the little different towns and things like that. So just great people, puts a smile on my face, little taste of home, and they're just good people and show me a ton of support, which is great.
Yeah, they were super nice when we talked to them yesterday. All right, now for the hard-hitting stuff, Craig. Enough. Playtime's over. No, I wanted to ask you this morning, you know, you hear all the time baseball is such a game of adjustments, right? You got to make adjustments. You're seeing, you know, your hitters make some adjustments and swinging the bat a little bit better. Pitchers from time to time making adjustments. The one area I think that's driving people crazy, and you probably know what I'm going to ask you about, is challenges. Padres are not a good team at challenges right now. Some crazy challenges, good, bad, you know. Non-challenges, right?
Really, everyone talked about, obviously, the one with Kinger and the full count with the bases loaded earlier this week.
You know, I think while we all realize this is new to these players, some of the situations, you know, you wonder, what's the message? And then how much are you guys talking about this every day? Can you give any insight at all as to like how this is being discussed?
Yeah, we've probably spent too much time on it, honestly. And we've, you know, maybe put the guys in a spot where they don't quite know what to do or when to do it, or when they're, you know, trying to be too aggressive. So we've got to continue to make sure the messaging is clear on that. You know, I think there's been a time where we were at the beginning of the season, you know, trying to, you know, we had our strategy, you know, of when it was going to go, and it just seemed like our players weren't using it, you know, or waiting for that perfect moment to use it. And then, you know, just say, be a little bit more aggressive, and then you become too aggressive. You know, so it's that fine line of everything during the season of trying to, you know, find the best way to do it. And I think the moral of the story is it's really difficult. And what the umpires do is really difficult, calling balls and strikes. And they do a pretty darn good job of it. You know, and it's really hard to see like that exact corner that a ball might hit, you know, on a pitch that's missed location. So one, I'll say it's very difficult. Two, you know, we're continuing to try to get a lot better at it, and, you know, we'll keep going. It's halfway through the season. We've got another second half to figure it out.
And is that something like do you feel like you're micromanaging? Because again, sometimes it comes at such an inopportune time, or a time where you're like, well, it's the third inning and there's nobody on and it's a 2-0 count, right? Like that, those are the things where I would lose my mind if I was the manager. I'd be like, what? I have to micromanage you guys on this. But when you do that, you put more pressure on them and kind of take them out of their AB sometimes, I would guess.
Yeah, 100%. And in the end, like, there's only two challenges. You know, can't challenge every single pitch. So, you know, you try to limit it and try to make it in big situations where it could change the game. We've seen it happen a couple of times. But in the end, like, to think that we're going to get every single pitch right in the game on both sides of the ball is probably an unrealistic expectation. We don't have that expectation on our guys, but, you know, we're continuing to work with them and try to, you know, understand which situations are best. And if a pitch is close, it's okay to challenge it. It's okay to be wrong. I think that's a part of it. These guys don't like being shown in front of 45,000 people on a big board that they don't know the strike zone, you know? And so part of it is like challenging pitches that are close just because it's a big situation. And, you know, we got to get that across to these guys. That doesn't really matter if you get it wrong or you get it right. The fact that we want to challenge in good situations.
Craig Stammen is with us, manager of the Padres, here on our SDCCU fan hotline. What's kind of the big picture for the starting rotation right now, Craig? You know, every team will go through it over the course of a long season, but you've definitely hit this spot where Starters aren't going deep into games. You've got to balance that with the needs of your bullpen. I mean, last night, JP came back and at least got you into the fifth inning. I wasn't sure that was going to happen. And what's kind of go through in your mind during that start going, I can't take him out yet, but I can't necessarily leave him in this game either. What's kind of your long-term perspective here?
Yeah, I feel like what you just said, been a synopsis of my life over the last couple weeks of trying to manage, and trying to debate, can we get an extra inning out of him, or should we just go straight to the bullpen and try to keep this game where it's at, and that's my job as a manager, to try to make good decisions in that. Sometimes I'm doing a good job of it and sometimes I'm, kicking myself afterwards, but you're right. There is a fine line. We do need, some more innings, from our starting pitching, and the 5 stars are probably in there, and then the bullpen, we need to keep them healthy throughout the season and keep them fresh and, ability to be our strength of our team as we go forward. And they're probably leave the starter in the game and then we'll be fresher as the season goes. But sometimes it's not that easy. We feel like our best chance to win games is when we have a close game and we can go to our bullpen and kind of keep it where it's at and let our offense try to score a few runs at the end of the game. That's probably our best strategy for the San Diego Padres. And we're trying to lean into that as much as possible. But we know, there's, parts of this being a long season, and the starters need to, do their part as part of the entire pitching staff. And the entire pitching staff, is how we limit runs and prevent runs from happening. And how we best use those is, constantly being talked about every single day.
I'd imagine a game like today, Walker Buehler is going to go to you and go, hey, as long as you need me. He's been earning it lately too with the way he's been pitching for your team, Craig. What have you seen in kind of the evolution of Walker Buehler here this season?
Yeah, Walker's been great. He's really, helped us here this, big time this last month when, what we just talked about, starters have somewhat struggled a little bit and, trying to make up for some offense that hasn't always been hitting. It's hitting a little bit better, but Walker's kept us in every game. He's given us a chance to win. We've won a lot of his starts, and he's handed it off to the bullpen in a relatively good manner into the 6th inning on multiple occasions. So we get another start like that from him today. I feel good about our chances winning, but his competitiveness, his drive to be great is infectious, and hopefully rubbing off on a lot of our other players in the clubhouse.
Talking to Craig Stammen here on Ben and Woods this morning, and as somebody that was in a bullpen, Craig, for a long time, it's you guys are all together. You're one unit in the bullpen. The starters are also a unit, but you all have to work together to win a championship, right? And when does the bullpen ever get like, hey man, we are getting worn out down here because these guys aren't doing their job, and you now as the skipper have to manage how you feeling? You good for one? You good for two? It can't be easy. I've always said, managing a bullpen's got to be the thing that keeps you up the most at night. But as somebody that lived down there, what is it like?
You know what? I tell you, this is just conversation I had with these guys yesterday. I'm asking them how they feel. They're all, I feel great. I'm ready to go. Give me 2 innings, all this stuff. And I go, you guys never tell me the truth. And they
never.
And they looked at me and they all said, what did you tell the manager when you were in the bullpen?
Yeah, you lied, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I said the same thing. I said, I felt great. Give me 2 innings.
Every time.
That's like the fun part about it is those guys love to take the ball, and they will take the ball for the team. They're putting the team first in everything that they do. And I think that's a great sign of what we've built, as a culture in the San Diego Padres bullpen, so all the way going back to, Trevor Hoffman. So in that regard, those guys will do anything for the team. And, those conversations, we've got to be strategic in how we look at how much they've pitched and be able to make, the decisions more based on what we think rather than how they say they really feel, and putting them in compromised positions. And our bullpen coach, Ben Fritz, does a good job reading their body language when they're playing catch every day. Ruben has some, he's been around the block quite a bit. He's got some good thoughts on when guys need a break, when we can push them. And then obviously I've got experience of having done it myself. And so a lot of times I'll tell those guys they need to suck it up a little bit, because I remember doing that myself. And then there's other times this guy's worn out. I can tell, in the way he's been pitching that he just needs a breather. He might feel good, but a little breather, might help him be more effective. So all those conversations are good and, a part of our daily conversations. But, one thing I can say about these guys in the pen is they will take the ball whenever you ask, and it's awesome.
Well, yeah, because you want it to be linear, right? Well, I'm gonna get 6 out of Bueller today, and then I can go to, depending on who's up in the Cubs lineup, I can go to Morahone, then Adam, then Miller. It's rarely linear, Craig, when you're pitching, and and that's the thing. I think managing at home on television. Well, why wouldn't you go to Morahone here? Well, he's thrown 70 pitches in the last 3 days, and it's hard for us to understand the capabilities of what these guys have, and knowing too, it's a really, really long season. We got a lot of games left to play. How do you kind of, when you look at this team right now, you win 4, you lose 4. It's kind of rough, right? And fan base is cannibalizing itself right now as usual. But how do you get it going? On the right track today. What do you tell the guys?
Yeah, I think we got to stick with it. What we did 4 days ago was good, and it's not like we've changed in the last 4 days of who we are. So we got to stick with it. Like, this game's about being consistent, showing up every day, ready to play, doing the work that's required each day, and then trusting that work is good enough to help you win a baseball game. And we've had a lot of close baseball games that we just haven't been on the right end of here lately. And we've had a few close ball games that we have been on the right end. And, I think we just got to keep getting through this little tough stretch that we have, 17 in a row right before the All-Star break against some good teams on the road. But it's big league baseball. Like, we're excited to show up today. This is like an amazing opportunity to play at Wrigley Field against the Chicago Cubs, fighting for a wild card berth against them. Got the Dodgers coming up next, fighting for the division with them. Like, what more can a Major League Baseball player ask for? And that's kind of the attitude that we take. And that's what we're going for every single day. And I know that these guys are excited about playing baseball today, and we're going to play as best as we can. And at the end, hopefully the score's in our favor.
I mean, if I'm being honest, your team fought harder than we did. We pulled the ripcord at the 7th inning stretch last night.
Sure,
it was really, really hot in the stands,
did.
and it was 9-3. And then we're dying in the lift on the way back to the hotel. Oh, it's 9-6. Oh, it's 9-7. Oh, they've got a tying run to the plate. I'm going, I did not see this coming. These guys fight all the way to the last pitch. Didn't work out, but it was. I mean, it's impressive to see, because it would have been easy to give up on a night like that when you're down 6. Last thing for me, how good is it to have Jake back in the clubhouse? We got to chat with him on Monday, just what he brings, that maybe the intangibles that everybody doesn't always get a chance to see. Craig.
Yeah, Jake is a good addition to our team. He's been a great Padre since we've gotten him. He's been someone that we can count on as a reliable at bat, a great defensive player, does everything that a coach could ever ask him, and is always in the right spot at the right time on the field. So we just got to get his back going a little bit, and he's going to be a big addition to our offense. He's going to provide that, that quality at bat at the bottom of the lineup or the middle of the lineup or wherever we have him, where it makes that starting pitcher work just a little bit harder, so that when they get up, to Tatis and Machado and those guys, he's a little bit more worn out, or there's a guy on base and he's got to pitch him a little bit more carefully. So, excited to have Jake back, excited to get him back, in the swing of things, and get him back to being the Jake Cronenworth that we all know. And I think you brought up a good point right before that about how we bounce back. This team bounces back better than, any team that I've ever probably been around. We give up 3, they score 2, and we've done that throughout the year. And I think that's a good quality, that's going to be very helpful for the rest of the season for this team.
All right. Well, if the fellas get down early, it might be time for another John Boy appearance. It's a double. It's a double win, because you get to go into the air conditioning and you fire up the squad at the same time. You fire up the Padres contingent. They've traveled out here by the hundreds, maybe thousands, out here dying for a win today, Craig. So just something to keep in the back of your mind. If you need to fire up the troops, you'll have a lot of support out there.
All options are on the table.
I love it.
All options are on the table.
Thank you, sir.
Plus, you get all your, Ohio peeps,
yes.
And they're so proud of you. Not quite as proud as they are of Corey Lupke, I found out, but really proud of you as well.
Yeah, I took down Corey back in Little League, so I've got the one up on him.
Nice. What a hotbed back there.
Maria Stein.
I love
championship game. So.
I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, maybe I can give the Ohio crew a show today.
Oh, well, now we're talking.
Let's get a win today to wrap up the series, and then we're lucky we get to fly back to San Diego. You have to go to LA. So our sympathies to you, and we will see you when you get back from the trip again.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thanks a lot.
Craig Stammen, manager of the San Diego Padres, on our SDCCU management report. It's not big bank banking. It is better, and we do have a Craig Stammen lineup for you For the San Diego Padres, leading off, Fernando Tatis Jr. hit his 17th career leadoff home run yesterday. See if he can do it in back-to-back days. And then Gavin Sheets will move up to the 2 slot today against right-hander Colin Ray, batting second and playing left field. Manny Machado, the DH today, getting a day off his feet in the heat. That is a veteran's move right there. He will bat third. Ty France will bat cleanup at first base. Jackson Merrill hitting fifth in center field. Xander Bogaerts playing short and batting sixth. Jake Cronenworth will start at second base today, batting seventh. Rodolfo Duran will do the catching behind the plate, batting eighth. And Sung Moon Song will stand in Manny's spot at third base and bat ninth in support of Walker Buehler on the mound for the Padres today.
Excellent. Need to salvage a win today. Would be a great send-off.
For everybody.
For everybody.
All right, we will take a timeout. When we come back, we got one more game. Last chance to qualify for our grand prize staycation at the Town and Country and $250 food and beverage credit, but you got to know your TV. That's our last category for the week for Take on Woods. Call now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Play our game when we come back with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, I'm like 36 hours from holding you in my hands. Once again, I have missed you so much.
Not me. Not
you.
Your kids.
No.
Not your wife.
No. Eco Water SoCal.
I knew
my
what you were
big
talking about.
fat jug of Eco Water SoCal. I'm dying right now having to mix and match, and it's been horrible. They don't have it here at this office. They don't have it at the hotel. I'm talking about Eco Water SoCal, a big glass of liquid clarity, my friends. You can get the Eco Water SoCal system in your home, and you absolutely should. It will change your life. It really will. Brings the soft life right to your kitchen sink with mineral-rich alkaline water. Balances your pH. It makes all the difference. It really does. It's the one healthy thing I do, and I do it well. I drink a lot of Eco Water SoCal. So does my entire family. So check it out for yourself. Call 760-350-3338, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925. It is Eco Water SoCal.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
By GL Pools, the swimming pool experts, trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball season is full swing, and so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. I gotta say, I don't normally live in the chat, as you know, but I am confused, and I'm sure some other fans feel this way, so I'm going to mention it. But Bernie says, why don't you all ask Stammen some difficult questions? He's horribly managed his team. That's your opinion, and that's valid. Didn't we ask? We asked him about the challenges. We asked him about the struggling pitching staff. We asked him about overusing the bullpen. Or to ask,
I think you want
tone doesn't make a question more difficult. We asked. That. I thought every difficult question that could be asked of Craig Stammen in this particular junction of the season. I couldn't think of anything else difficult to ask him. Like, why are you such an idiot? Is both disrespectful and unproductive, and I'm not going to ask him that question. I don't think he's an idiot, to begin with, but even if you did, that's not the kind of question you would ask.
It's funny,
the difficult question?
I was reading Jay Posner was tweeting about it, and a guy wrote him, and he's like, he's got no business managing this team. He's unqualified.
Is that the question?
No, hang on. He says he's got no business managing this team. They're unqualified. They're overperforming. And Jake's like, well, if they're overperforming what their record should be, doesn't that mean he's doing a good job? And, you go back and forth every day. Look, at the end of the day, they're a very average baseball team. They were predicted to be a very average baseball team. If they were 10 games under 500, yeah, I think we'd be furious. If they were 20 games over 500, we'd be elated, but still waiting for the other shoe to drop.
This is the team I kind of expected. Yeah. Tatis, 2-homer game. Manny hitting a bunch of extra base hits. Sheets getting some home runs, but starting pitching
is going to be
not enough. It's a problem. Are you going to be able to get to that bullpen? this is what we expected.
They're kind of rounding into form now of what we actually thought it would be. Like, man, starting pitching is going to be brutal. The bullpen's going to have to carry us. They have.
Offense is going to look okay.
Offense is going to be okay. And now, it's coming full circle. But like, look, my opinion of Craig Stammen is yet to be made. It's not even halfway through. Well, not into the All-Star break yet. So like, I'm going to reserve judgment on the job that he did. I don't know. Like, I don't look at Craig and say, this is the Padres manager for the next 10 years. I don't. I don't. I thought Bob Melvin was.
Yeah,
I did.
Same.
I thought Mike Shildt may be. I thought he may be.
We knew Andy Green wasn't. We didn't think Jace Tingler was.
And I don't know that Stammen is. And that, again, remains to be seen. I don't know how much he loves being the manager of the San Diego Padres. I don't.
Is there such a thing? I guess Dave Roberts, although he came out today and said, I'm not managing for much longer. He's like, I'm close. He had his 1,000th win yesterday. He said, I'm closer to done than a lot of guys. There's not, no offense to Tommy Lasorda and Walter Alston, but this is a hard job, and I don't want to do it for 20 more years.
What does he need to do? He's going into the Hall of Fame.
But the question is, who are the managers that you want around forever? I mean, Brian Snitker won a World Series out a couple years later. I mean, is it better to just change your manager every 2 or 3 years and have a different message continuing to come in rather than have some stalwart who's been there for a decade and a half that gets stale?
And he makes the point, again, like Jay Posner, who's, he's not under any obligation to speak nicely about the team, and neither are we. I've ripped this team all year. They've been very mediocre at times, and I think they have been mismanaged at times. But I also know that every manager makes massive mistakes throughout the course of the season, especially rookie managers. Jay makes the point. Well, Terry Francona's 39-45. Like, he is experienced. He's very experienced. He's won World Series.
His roster isn't that. I mean, his bullpen's probably worse, but he's got some good starting pitching. He's got some good
players.
It's in his lineup. He's not succeeding.
It's just, I'm so reluctant to give the manager a ton of credit, and I'm so reluctant to give them a ton of blame. It's how I've always been. There was a funny thread going back to I think Andy Green, and the Andy Green era. I was arguing with my buddy Miz on Twitter, and I go, like, you're blaming this guy? Look at the guys he's got on his roster. Like, who could manage these guys? These guys are big leaguers. They have to perform. We're beyond coach. Like, hey, Xander, you need to get that arm out a little more on that ground ball. Like, we're beyond that stuff.
I think that the coaching staff as a whole has done a pretty poor job challenge-wise.
No doubt.
And getting the players ready for that, which Craig Stammen just admitted when we asked him about it. Like, I may have given them we're swinging back and forth too much in each direction. I need to change something. This is new. The challenge thing is new, so everybody's learning as they go.
Does Craig Stammen need to sit Xander Bogaerts down and go, hey, man, you've played 7 billion baseball games in your life. You don't need to challenge a 2-0 pitch in the third inning, right?
And he's only played about 80 of them with a challenge system.
Yeah, exactly. And so
players don't have to think about that until now. Like, what kind of leverage situation am I coming up to? They go up and they're trying to be as productive as they can in every at bat. Now they've added this whole element of, wait, is this a high leverage situation or is it not? Where, do I challenge? I also am thinking about my at bat.
I put it on the players. Well, I put everything on the players.
The coach can't challenge. I mean, it would be a lot easier if the manager could just make the challenge.
Right.
But that's not how the rule's written. It can only be the batter or the pitcher or the catcher, and they have to do it instantly. So you can't do more than your players are capable of doing in those situations.
I go to watch the players. I put the blame on the players, and I give the players the credit.
And I would say, it'd be very simple. Like, you go up, you either have green or red light to challenge in this at bat. But then if you have a red light and a guy bounces it and the umpire goes strike, it's like, well, you have to challenge that. It's obviously, I mean,
it's just situationally they've been bad at it. And again, you know whose fault that is? It's on the players. It's on Freddie Fermin. It's on Xander Bogaerts. It's on Manny Machado. It's on Fernando Tatis or whoever. Like, it's on them. It's all on them. It's all on them. You've seen managers that were not great strategists, but were good at managing personalities. You've seen these great managers like Buck Showalter, who's lauded as like one of the best of all time. I don't think he ever won a title, did he? No, I think teams won titles when he left.
Yes.
Probably due to a lot of the work that he put in, right? But again, it's hard for me. I had a hard time blaming Andy Green because he had a crap roster. I have a hard time blaming Craig Stammen because his star players didn't play well at all. And his GM did not give him a really solid rotation. They threw a bunch of stuff at the wall. They were hoping it stuck. It did for a while. But again, blaming the manager is such a cop-out. It's such a cop-out at the big league level, in my opinion. It's such a cop-out.
I agree.
Guy's making $30 million a year. He doesn't know when to challenge? I don't think so. That's not Craig's fault. That's his fault. And we're living in a weird timeline where people would rather you rip the manager than the actual guys that are out there performing. I think, again, he has made mistakes. He absolutely has made mistakes.
But not
they
like
all
an outsized number of them. Like, oh, wow, Craig Stammen makes 5 times more mistakes than any other manager.
It's just
that is not true at all.
The players are the ones that have to be held accountable, in my opinion. That's how you're not going to change my mind, man. You're just not. The players are the guys that have to execute.
But unfortunately, it's one of those things where the other side of the argument somebody would say, well, that's on the manager to coach them how to be better at their job. And that's where you're colliding. You're not going to agree. Just like you're not going to change your mind. The person you're arguing with won't change their mind.
Do you guys think Dave Roberts does a lot of coaching on a daily basis? Like coaching. He has in-game strategy. Is he coaching? He will put his arm around a guy and say, hey, Dalton, stop being a putz.
That's managing.
That's managing personality.
Right.
Coaching. Is he out there on the field with Dalton rushing, showing him this is how you block a ball?
He's out there shagging flies like, no, you want to block the sun like this with your glove.
When you get to this level, and I've talked to big league skippers about it, it's all about managing the players, their moods, their personalities, their egos, what's going on in their personal life. There's a lot of that, right? And it's, let's talk about who's the best matchups and things like that. But as far as like, you got to get your elbow up on your change up there. That's Ruben Niebla. They can get in the lab and figure that stuff out. The coaching staff of this team, you can blame Sousa all you want.
But again, Adam and you, he doesn't tell you how to do your radio show. He just tries to manage your personality.
That's exactly right.
As our manager.
That's exactly right. And when he does try to tell me,
how does that motivate you? How do you know they're being coddled?
I don't think they're, coddled, I don't think is the right word. And maybe he's not, I don't think he's a big fire and brimstone guy. I don't think there's many in baseball these days that are flipping over tables anymore. I think those days have come and gone. And if you long for those days, I don't think they exist anymore.
But unless you're in the dugout, you don't know.
I think they've learned that if you manage just that way, screaming, being hard on your players all year long, you lose them in a long season by the end of the year. They're worn out by July, and that's it. You have to be very.
Who's the fieriest manager
now?
Yeah, in baseball. Fiery.
Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone. That was my guess.
Yeah. But who is he fiery at?
The umpires.
Umpires. Never rips his players. Yeah. Never once. Mike Schilt. Never ripped a player. Not one time.
Sometimes fiery with the media, but not with his players.
Never
with his own staff, not with his players.
Dude, no, you want to talk about coddled? I don't think anybody coddled the team more than Schilte did when he was here. And so I just think I'm blaming the guys that make the money to perform. I always will. That's just how I'm wired.
Well, that was quite the discussion that delayed a little take on Woods. Padres trying to salvage. The Tier 1's trying to salvage, not get swept by Woods. Let's play our game. It is time to take on Woods.
It's time for Take on Woods. Take on
Woods. Woods.
Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. We got Guy on the line. Hi, Guy.
Hey, Ben. Well, greetings from Chicago. I'm here too.
Well, you're here too. Last chance this month. I think you know the rules, so I don't have to go through everything. You know the prize. It's the staycation, $250 food and beverage credit, the town and country. Last chance to get in. It's our TV category, and it's been all about Chicago this week. Nothing different today. 5 TV series set in the Windy City. You'll have 60 seconds. You know how it works. Starts with our 2-second TV theme song. If everybody's ready, I say we just get to playing. Are you ready, Guy?
Let's do it.
All right, Kyle's got the TV theme song back in our studio. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock for our TV category, the Windy City. Your time begins when Kyle plays our 2-second TV theme song. Good luck, Guy. Let's take on Woods.
Yeah, I don't know. Chicago
Pass.
Hope.
Incorrect. Everyone's favorite Italian beef restaurant features heavily in which critically acclaimed FX Hulu show set just up the street. Correct. Which 90s sitcom about a Chicago cop and his brood is now remembered most for the nerdy next-door neighbor, Steve Urkel?
What's that dork's name? Growing Pains? No. Wait.
Incorrect. Which classic sitcom that carries the star's name tells the story of a Chicago psychiatrist who later went on to have a years-long dream about running an inn in Vermont?
Newhart.
I need more.
Bob Newhart Show.
Correct. Juliana Margulies returns to her career as a tenacious Chicago attorney after her DA husband is caught up in a political scandal, in which series it also starred Chris Noth and Christine Baranski.
Chicago Law.
All right, time is up. We just got the Bear and the Bob Newhart show. You missed ER was the first one, Chicago Hospital show. Family Matters was Steve Urkel and The Good Wife. So we've got 2 as our score to beat as Woods comes back in here. We got a TV category today. And if you don't know the theme, then you are hopeless. You should be able to figure it out. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Kyle plays our 2-second TV theme song. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Guy.
Is that ER?
It is. Everybody's favorite Italian beef restaurant features heavily in which critically acclaimed FX Hulu show. Correct. Which 90s sitcom about a Chicago cop and his brood is now remembered most for the nerdy next
Family Matters.
Correct. Which classic sitcom that carries the star's name tells the story of a Chicago psychologist later went on to have a years-long dream about running an inn in Vermont?
Newhart?
I need more.
The Bob Newhart show?
Correct. Juliana Margulies returns to her career as a tenacious Chicago attorney after her DA husband is caught up in a political scandal, in which series it also starred Chris Noth and Christine Baranski.
F.
Don't think you're going to get this one, but we'll see. I've got good news. You've already swept the week.
Oh,
got
did
the
I?
Win. Yeah, 4-2.
Let me guess then. Boston Legal.
That's the Good Wife. But well done, Woods. You did not lose in a single game in all the categories called the Windy City this week.
Call me the anti-Padre.
Very nicely done. Hopefully the Padres have a better job salvaging than the tier ones do. All right, we got to take one last time out here. When we come back, our MLB reach around and some final thoughts. We're going to have Braden coming in our 9 o'clock hour so we can get to the game at Wrigley Field on time. All coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, I get one last chance to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Again, I don't think I've actually gained any weight on this trip. If I did, though, I have the tools that I need to lose it again, thanks to SDFatLoss.com. I went through the program once. I've kept my 40 pounds off for 3 years. But, you're always going to have some, vacations and fluctuations, and the skills that I learned, the tricks, the techniques from SDFatLoss.com and my great coach that I had have carried me through these last 3 years. It's pretty incredible. You can learn all the same techniques by setting up a free consultation at SDFatLoss.com, and you'll learn how to lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days while eating real foods, no shakes or bars or prepackaged meals to buy, and then keeping the weight off with their help through maintenance, all again for just the one-time fee. And by the way, you can take $200 off right now for fan listeners with the summer special at SDFatLoss.com. Set up your consultation today at SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Got all-you-can-eat seats for the game today.
I don't want to eat seats.
All-you-can-eat comes with the seats for the bleacher,
don't want to eat that either.
The rooftop bleachers that we're sitting in
right
for the game today. I'm excited. I'm worried because it's hot, and those are going to be clearly in the sun because you're on the top of a roof. There's no shade anywhere. But also maybe get more of the breeze. It was very oppressively hot in the bowl, and
like stagnant.
You could see the winds blowing on the flags. I'm going, where's that wind? I want some of it, and you feel none of it down by the dugout. But you saw the balls getting up into the wind and carrying quite a long way. So you know it was up there. You just can't feel it all.
I just want to remind you that since it's all you can eat, if you do drop your food on the floor, you can just
you
get
don't
a
have to
new
pick it
one.
up.
Fair enough.
You don't have to eat hot dogs off of the floor. Ever, really. You never do. You make good. You pull down decent bucks. You have 2 full-time jobs. There on no planet should you ever eat food off the ground. Right? Like you never should do it. Unless you're in your home.
I got it like 3 seconds. It was just like a quick pickup.
3 seconds too long.
It's 3 seconds. You're already eating hot dogs as it is, right?
That's part of the
You're
argument.
taking your life in your hands.
How much worse could it be?
How much worse could it be?
It's already a hot dog.
I don't know. Hot dog dipped in feces is as bad as it's worse for you.
I've changed my mentality for today's game because after how hot it was last night at the night game, I go, we're going to die tomorrow. It's going to be hotter.
Yeah.
We're going to be in direct sunlight.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough. And then I thought, you know what? It's a group suite seating area. Like there's going to be some shade or a place where you can go indoors, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink. So we're going to have all the water and snacks we can find.
I have an idea. Tarps off for us today.
Up in the bleachers.
Sweet. or the bleachers.
We've been told already this week in the Roundel Report that we're not supposed to suck in our stomachs
Let
at
it
all.
rip, dude.
Have you thought about that with every photo you've taken this week with somebody?
I've taken a lot of photos. And it's like, no, I'm not supposed to do that. That's bad for my health, sucking in my stomach.
I'm gonna tarp off. I'm gonna take the tarp off and sit up there in my swimsuit.
In your suit.
In my swimsuit.
What happens if, as invariably they will, the director, producers of Padres.tv, Don and Mud, find us then?
Oh, yeah.
Put us on television.
Our tarps off?
Tarps off.
Yeah. Fine with it.
You're okay with that?
I don't care. At this point, how much more miserable could you be? You know?
Just not ready for that.
I mean, it's also Chicago. Like, I'm in pretty good shape for Chicago.
You're also kind of like, I mean, look at our lives and what we do. Like, how many more arrows can people sling at us?
Dude, exactly right. That's exactly right.
What are they going to say?
What are you going to say now that you haven't said already?
That's going to this one actually hurts my feelings.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm upset.
Yeah.
Now I'm upset.
I do hope the guy that was listening I hope he's listening now. The guy that flipped out on me and Ben last year in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
Because we repped our jerseys. We repped them hard.
You repped them hard last night.
I had a hat. I had my jersey, my City Connect, all on.
You didn't even have a Padres shirt on. You had a Dead Friar Society on.
Slam Diego, it said.
Yeah. I mean, Padres adjacent.
But no jersey?
But no official jersey.
Official hat on.
You traveled all the way out here. You couldn't even wear a jersey.
So
you fat, stupid idiot. Do you not even like this team? What is wrong with you?
I put a Padres jersey on. It was way too thick and heavy, and I took it off. And I put my Dead Friar Society Slam Diego shirt on and my brown hat and my swimsuit, and I went out to the ballpark.
I had the same feeling. I ended up wearing the jersey, but when I was getting dressed in my room, I put the jersey on. I go, it's a lot heavier of a jersey than I thought it was.
Oh.
When you're wearing it in January in Peoria, running around, you don't really notice how thick it is. But out here,
he's gonna lose his mind if he doesn't get to the reach around. I keep vamping because I keep watching him look at the reach around.
I look at the time ticking away.
Oh, we only have
do a very fast reach
2 more
around.
minutes.
I'd rather do some final shot.
We'll root for the Padres. If they don't win, we'll go swim. Because you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go now.
Ready to go swimming.
You don't have to do a reach around.
I do.
No, they don't
have
need
to.
it. No, we only got 2 minutes left.
No, we're not. Left in Chicago.
Obligated.
It's not even sponsored.
You're right. It isn't.
Just
I'm
relax.
looking. It's anything that I need
Hang
to
on,
tell
just-
you.
Take a deep breath.
Quiet.
Sit back. Talk to you guys on Monday.
It's not that important.
What are your July?
We got to the big
What are your
ones.
July 4th plans?
You know, I've been thinking so much about the trip. I haven't really made the plans for Independence Day. So that's Saturday.
Saturday.
Huh. I haven't been to the fair yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
Seems like a
doing
bad
the
weekend
fair
to go.
on the 4th of July is, I know it's.
I may take Taylor on Friday, maybe, if I'm up for it. And then Saturday, we're going to go to a pool with some friends and swim. And
that sounds nice. I'll come with
great. No, I mean, it's a private.
Oh,
yeah,
private event.
No, but it was just another.
Can I come?
No, it's another family. Sorry, guys. We're
Not
just gonna,
invited.
no, we have
Not invited.
We have a cabana. We're gonna sit. And
I'll
eat
do what
chips.
I normally do. I'll find some illegal fireworks and set them off in my backyard. You know
I
me.
texted my wife
You know
last
me.
night. I texted Hannah last night, and I go, I just want to thank you for really like beyond. The kids have camps, they have swim, they have all this stuff that she's had to do. She took my truck in to get the windows tinted, which is incredible. I'd have to do it. And I go, when I get home, I got it. I go, I want you to sit by the pool Saturday. I want you to drink margaritas, eat chips. I'll handle these dudes. I'm going to take good care of her when I get back because she has really crushed it. But I'm looking forward to getting home. I miss San Diego desperately.
I know. When we left on Sunday morning, me and my wife, we turned onto Harbor to get to the airport. And I said, I'm very excited for this trip, but I'm already looking forward to landing back in San Diego on Thursday. Like, it's the best feeling.
And then we won't talk to you guys until Monday. And hopefully, man, there's some wind sprinkled in there. Because I said it to Craig, and I mean, it's cannibalizing itself right now, which happens.
Yeah, we need some wins because we've already lost 4 in a row. We don't want what it hears like, what it sounds like. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a
times
shame.
9? Are you kidding me?
How about get this one today, and then we'll worry about the Dodger weekend when it comes up. All right,
Actually, I don't even care. Lose 8 in a row, but if you win on Sunday, we're good.
Braden thought he had the day off and said he's coming in to do the next hour. Appreciate him. We're going to head to the game. Thank you for joining us all these last 3 hours for Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.